We are live here, and I'm going to check Instagram. Oh, it
Yeah.
worked.
Hey,
It worked.
revolutionary night for the Age of Men, folks. We're combining our Instagram fam with you guys on YouTube. Watch out.
We are live on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Let's let
Hey.
the Instagram people see our intro.
Right. That's so dope. I hopefully we get people watching on Instagram. We're actually live on it. So I'm excited, man. We're starting to show off. We need like confetti or something like that because I didn't realize.
There's it, folks. He's the producer behind the scenes over here. He puts all his hard work in to get our tech going, and now we're everywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm watching this live right now on Instagram. That's crazy. And I can add comments. That's dope. That's so dope. All right, cool. Nice, man. All right, cool. Well, ladies and gents, thank you for coming back, and let's start the show.
Viewer discretion advised.
Bad vibrations?
Not suitable for work.
Son of a bitch.
Warning, if you are highly sensitive, overly emotional, or easily triggered, do us all a favor and quietly tune out. No need ruining the good time of others simply because you are a beta or a bitch. Age of Men podcast with your co-host in crime, Nick and Julius. Initiate launch sequence.
Welcome back to another episode of the Age of Men podcast. Man, I'm so excited right now because we are live on Instagram, and I was trying to figure this out for like almost a month, I think. And I was like, how do I do this? I kept going live, and I was like, wait, I can't go live. I finally figured out what they were saying, but it's a long story. But nonetheless,
Be black and slow.
yeah, we are live on Instagram. Now I'm actually watching the live right now on Instagram. It is delayed, so what people will see would be like maybe 5 seconds delay, which is totally fine.
That'll give us enough time to censor Megan live.
Hey, you got like the 5-second window. See how quick your editing skills are.
The woman window, we'll call it.
So we appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not subscribed already. If you want to follow us on all other social media platforms, the links are down below. If you guys would like to donate to this channel so we can give you guys better quality content, you can do so down below. Cash App is there. Any questions you guys have, you can always email us, or you can DM us on Instagram.com/Age of Men podcast. I'm just excited that we're on IG now, because now that I know how it works, I can now go live on my page on Today with Julius and stream that to IG as well from Rumble. Man, I am so excited because I know moving forward, I'm gonna get some people on my IG. I'm sure Nick knows who I'm talking about. I'm gonna be like, oh, look. Coon.
And Slave Master. He calls him my slave. Well, guess what? They're still watching us.
Yep. So crazy. After what, 3 years, and yet they still think we're that important? That's weird.
I think no god forever with the Halloween troll.
I'm no god, folks. I'm just a man. So don't put me on the pedestal.
Well, according to them, it would seem, I mean, they worship you, you know? They worship us.
That's so weird. I don't even, that's blasphemous. So just...
No homo, God.
So,
All homo.
These guys.
so speaking of God, we're gonna talk about that in a second. Bow your head and close your eyes. No, I'm joking, but
Oh,
I'm no, I don't mean to joke about that, but
Don't
I'm
tease
actually,
Megan with a good time.
but
what?
we will,
Hey, yo.
but we will talk about God, and this is what I mean. So, um, there was a tweet from a guy named Chase, who goes by Sovereign Bro on Twitter and Instagram. He was talking about Adam and Eve. Lila Rose apparently found his tweet from like a month ago and decided to correct that about Adam and Eve. And people, I think she got ratioed. She got ratioed. Even Pearl jumped in, just Pearly thing just jumped in, and I think Bryson came in and like corrected Lila Rose. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So we can go over that and kind of speak about just that. Not so much in depth, but I just want to point out a specific thing that even I even looked up and was like, wow, it does say this in the Bible. People get it wrong all the time. So
Basically, the argument is what made Adam the first beta simp.
yeah, and what's funny, and no offense to you, Nick, I get where you're going with that, but even you would be incorrect by saying he was a beta for doing that. I get where you're going with
No,
it.
you said that the argument is whether it's doing that or Lila Rose is saying didn't protect Eve, and that's where
Right,
he
right.
right.
So it's essentially blaming men. It's doing the whole. What about the men though? It's that whole thing. So I want to talk about that and why women are starting to say that it's Adam's fault to absolve accountability from the woman, and that seems like that carries to even today. Where if you talk about women, it's always what about the men though? And that's the quote.
Please. You know what they're doing with that though? That's a mistake. See, I look for counter moves and I look for people to mess themselves up. When they say something like that, I'm gonna say, you know what, you're right. Adam should have been having Eve under his thumb the whole time so that she couldn't go make a mistake.
Where'd that come from? Did you see that? I don't know what is going
Megan,
on.
did you just see that?
What?
Did you just see that?
Do what?
Hold on.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like a thumb came up. That's the second time that happened.
Right? Look.
What?
Where?
Hold on, can I do it too?
Let's try this. Let's try this.
Wait.
I don't know where that comes from. I don't thumbs up. Should I say it like Siri?
Or is it on
Thumbs
this
up.
side of the screen?
That's crazy. I don't know why. We're all trying to do.
This
Oh,
is
this
so
looks a
weird.
little weird. Everybody watching just like, come on with the show. No.
Yeah, we're sitting there playing with the thumbs up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why it does that. Well, it is what it is. Make for the show.
The robots are trolling me, Julius, trying to get me paranoid.
I know. Jeez Louise. That's crazy. But I want to discuss that. We'll discuss that in a bit. But I do want to point out that that's what I see women doing. They'll blame Adam to absolve accountability and responsibility from Eve. And I find that very interesting. When you read the Bible verse, you realize that God was not. He wasn't mad at Adam for not protecting Eve. It's a whole different thing. So we'll get into that. The main theme of tonight is there was a video that went viral on Instagram and on Twitter of a woman, this black woman, and she said men who make 50K should not date. And so last week we had the question, it was Nick's idea of does her income matter? And this week my question is, does his income matter?
We got the lie detector test, ladies. We're gonna find out who's truthful tonight.
Right. Thought that was
We
a
need
good
Maury on here.
Wait, who?
Maury. He's the one who's known for doing the lie detector
Yeah.
tests.
I know. We should get him on the show. Yeah, so I think that would be good to talk about. And we're gonna watch this video. We're gonna get right into it. Again, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button and make sure you guys engage, comment below, do all the good stuff. And yeah, let's get right into it. So let me look up this video. Not look it up, but let me find it and bring it up, and we'll discuss it. Right? But let me know.
It's a man's world.
Yeah, and they say it'd be nothing without a woman, but
what?
I'm starting to believe that that's not true. Yes, men and women need each other. We do need each other to procreate, to find a balance, foundations, things like that. We do need each other. But ultimately, Adam was created first. So
But if
Adam
you
would
didn't,
be all right. He just couldn't procreate and have generations without Eve. Eve could not survive a couple days without Adam. Let's be honest. Bear Grylls demonstrated on his Survival Island or whatever that show is called.
they asked the question somewhere. It's like, come on, women, what would you do if men weren't on this earth for one day? You're not gonna believe what one of them responded. She was like, I would wear a crop top and shorts, and I would go outside, or she would go on a walk outside at night by herself.
Oh,
I know what's a laugh track we needed. That would be a
No,
good
she was saying
street.
yeah,
like
she's
what would
saying
you
men
if
are
men
dangerous and
disappeared from
violent,
the
make it
world?
so she can't go out at night. And yeah.
I was like trying to like think about like what she said. I don't know. I'm getting old. I'm sorry.
You know what else
Well-
you couldn't do? Call the police or the fire department or anybody else
Basically,
like that, or the internet
basically,
service
she wouldn't
provider,
be-
or the plumber, or the road paver, or you name it.
Basically, she said she would go out. She wouldn't be afraid to like be out at night like by herself.
She should be. The freaking lesbians have the highest domestic violence fucking rates in bar none. The women beat the shit out of each other when it's two girls. You guys are the dangerous ones.
I live in a relatively conservative hometown, so I think I'm safe. I think I'm good.
Because
Well,
I live in a Bible Belt.
it will be interesting though to do a street interview and ask women if men disappeared today, what would you do? And how would society function? Like how would you function in society if men were to disappear today? I'll be curious to hear what their answers are. And then I will ask men, if women were to disappear today, how would you function in society? What would you be doing to keep society functioning? I'll be curious to hear both sides. That'd be a good street interview. Okay.
Go on
What
without
would be
much
your
of a
go-to
hiccup.
meal?
The men
Wait, hold on.
we would always notice in the ways of like not being able to intimately pursue women, but there'd be a lot less headaches. The infrastructure would continue without a hiccup, and yeah, I mean, virtual reality is coming a long way. So I mean, just
They would
sending
not be able to cook another good meal ever again. Laundries would pile up.
no, we built some robots to do that. We're pretty close to that.
Kids won't be getting raised.
There will be no kids because there's going to be no women.
Yeah, you guys will kill the human race.
No, it's you guys died off, so there's no second generation. So we're just going to enjoy this ride out.
I mean,
You also
but
not
there
know how to decorate homes. Like who's gonna decorate your homes? Who's gonna, you know?
Well, we got a couple fags that could fill the bill.
Well, hold up. You said to decorate the homes, but men built the homes, and
Guys only know how
to.
to decorate their rooms with flags. I swear, guys only know how to
Yeah.
What
decorate.
about fags? Don't
Yeah.
forget fags.
Well, yeah, and so I was gonna say, you can talk about decoration. I'm not saying men are into decoration. I'm saying that men don't decorate. We decorate our stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying when we build houses, we're not looking to decorate. We just build it exactly how it's supposed to be built and move on to the next.
Guys only know how to decorate their rooms with flags. And I would say, if you're a guy and you're offended by
What's
what
wrong
I
with
just
that?
if you're a guy and you're offended by what I just said, it's probably because you have a bunch of flags hanging up in your room.
What's wrong with flags in your room?
There's too many flags. Aside from the American flag, I see like that's the only way they know how to decorate their rooms.
Yeah,
No
Oh,
decorations
flags in the room.
allowed.
Adrian's right. She's
No
throwing
nice
shade.
picture frames.
We got something against the American
No,
Right,
I have
flag.
nothing
Adrian.
against
Our room proud.
Shots
the
fired.
American
Shots
flag is
fired.
the only exception I make. The American flag is the only exception I make, but I better not
Shots
see
fired,
like
bro.
She
college
dyes her
flags.
hair. It's like we don't even know her anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I know. New hair. Who this?
I've been whitewashed, is what I've been told.
Oh, you were whitewashed long ago, Megan. I hate to break it to you.
No, but I showed the hair to my parents, and my sister. Well, my parents loved it, but my sister made a meme. She was like, Megan, after 1 week, if she went to because I almost went to the University of Alabama, and I mean, luckily I never considered ever, rushing or being a part of a sorority. They're like, Megan, after 1 week in Alabama,
That's
forget
actually
she's
pretty good.
Hispanic.
We
Nice.
came back. Shots fired. So I'm like, why did men got flags? I'm like,
You mean this flag?
It's the only way
The
y'all know
most
how to
obvious
decorate
behind
your
me?
rooms.
But
That's
what's wrong
basically
with
what
that,
I'm
though?
saying. It's the only way
What's
guys know
wrong
how to
with men?
decorate.
What's wrong with men putting up flags like sports and things? What's wrong with that?
Is that the only way you know how to decorate your room?
But what's wrong with that, though?
No, we just haven't enslaved the right woman yet to do it.
They all look the same. Yes, marriage is slavery. Yes, we agree on something.
Oh, you're gonna find out.
Marriage is slavery.
If I made it, you guys keep joking like that. We'll show you what slavery is.
I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with men putting the flags up. I'm trying
It's
to
like
figure out.
Don't listen to her. Don't mind her, Julia. She's
every
a
guy's
lady.
room looks the same.
But I mean, but this is great though, because I'm really curious. Honestly, I know it might be a waste of time, but I'm really curious to know because you're saying that it looks the same. But I'm asking, what's wrong with that?
There's like it doesn't look nice and stuff. Like aside from the outside of the American flag, like team flags and stuff, like flags of soccer teams. That's
not
a
telling me it's wrong.
recurring one. Those weird ones that say I'm trying to remember what the most iconic, not iconic, but like what was the craziest like flag I've seen? Oh, it was like
Don't tread on me.
Jordan Travis for president, which is like our university's quarterback. How many guys' rooms have you been seeing? I don't have to go inside their rooms. Everybody's posting them on TikTok. Everybody's posting them on TikTok. I don't have to go inside of a guy's room. I just have to go on my phone, go on TikTok, see every like. You can literally type in college, and every TikTok a guy posts is in his room, and it's all just flags.
What are you researching the competition?
I mean, look, we'll come back to this. Cause I still haven't heard I still haven't heard what's wrong with it aside from how I feel.
Julius, I'm writing it down in my notes right here. She won't get away from it.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. She's not gonna
use decorative pillows. Use cute picture frames from Hobby Lobby. Sorry, it's mirrored, so I can't really like.
All I hear is how I feel. I'm not hearing what's actually wrong with it.
Like my dad literally told my mom, "You're in charge of decorating the house. I've got no style."
Sure, but yeah, I'm gonna after we watch this video and we talk about it, I'm gonna come back and say, Megan, I want you to tell me what is wrong with a man decorating how he decorates, because all you're saying is how I feel. It doesn't look nice. It looks like, yeah, but what's wrong with it though? You're not giving me what's wrong with it.
What is right with it?
What is right with it? Oh, I'll tell you what's right about it. What's right about it is that it's a man's liking. It's what he likes. He likes what he likes. That's what's right about it, is that he likes what he likes. Exactly.
What's that laugh? It's like you should be like a voice actor or something.
It's called Home Improvement. A great man named Tim Allen, Home Improvement, who was a Trump supporter, by the way, too. Tim Allen. So great dude. Buzz Lightyear.
Great dad, great alpha man.
For legal reasons, that's just my opinion.
They would never let his show survive in this day and age, and that's why we're doing that.
Shout out to Tim Allen.
Let's get him on the Age of Men, folks.
I know we gotta get that. All right, so we're gonna react to this woman here. This is posted by the Daily Loud on Twitter, and it says, "A woman says men who make $50,000 a year should not date." Let's see what she has to say. It's about 51 seconds long. Let's see.
Julius, remember before you start, remember that Kevin Samuels sound effect? I
know we gotta get that one too. Oh man!
All right, go ahead.
Burrell said Tim Allen, also a former drug dealer. Hey,
Ruel. I'm just kidding.
Hey, so what?
Yeah.
So what? So what?
420 blazing, HK. I had never done drugs in my life.
That's what makes a good dad. You were selling some cocaine back in the day. Now you know your kids' tricks.
At least you learn from it. All right. Here's that video here. Check this out. I guess it's from a podcast called Poor Minds. So it was spelled POUR, like poor mind. Like, like share your thoughts. I kind of get the wordplay. All right. Here's that here.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real.
Oops. Hold on, me. Turn the volume up real quick.
You're not ready to date.
Daddy.
Again, I'm with you. You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs.
Okay.
You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, Shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She's gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have the expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna want to run. Because she doesn't stretch you, she doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up.
I'm
You
just
talk about me.
saying. So if you're
Hold
making
on.
$50,000,
I want to hit it one more time real quick. I want to cut to the
I'm just
last half. She
dollars
said,
in
hold
Atlanta.
on.
Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have the expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna want to run. Because she doesn't stretch you, she doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up.
I'm
You
just
Okay. I
The
get
up
what
the phrase right there doesn't make you the man you need to become. Ladies, you
Yeah.
don't realize that you don't want a man that you must make, or that could even be made by you. Like, he's not gonna.
I'm
That's
not
not
going
what
to be
you
a
want.
guy's teacher.
You say what?
Don't be a guy's teacher.
What do you mean by
Well,
that?
yeah.
Like, don't be the one that has to like shape him like into that and stuff. And it's not even just with finances and stuff. Like, you shouldn't tell someone like how to treat you. Like, you have to, like Julius, you shouldn't have to tell a girl like how you should be treated and stuff. It should more so just come naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, partner, not a project.
Hold on. I wish we had sound effects to record stop. First and foremost, I'm gonna always stand on this until the day I die. Please, conservatives and Christian, I say this to you now. Stop saying partner. That's a homosexual term. Partner implies equality. Partner implies 50-50. I am not your business partner. I am your husband. I am your significant other. You are my wife. That's the proper term. God didn't say partner in the Bible. Never said that. So stop using the word partner. It's a homosexual term.
I think when someone says partner, I think it's like whatever statement they're saying, like it goes for both men and women, and like
Yeah,
it all
egalitarianism. But there's no
A
such
better
thing.
is spouse.
Yep, spouse. Exactly. That I forgot to mention that on the interview earlier, but yeah, spouse, husband, wife, significant other. That's the correct term. But
your
partner,
monogamous significant other.
Best yet, my slave woman.
Jesus Louise.
We're gonna
I
make
mean,
you an AI robot, girlfriend.
My slave women.
I mean, is that to imply? And that's to imply that women are inherently slaves to their husband because of how they serve them.
Well, we made the mistake of like freeing them, if you will, liberating them. That's on us. So we're gonna rein you back in, ladies. Slave status.
Interesting.
What's your leash of choice, or like your lasso of choice to like reel them back in, like they do in the movies?
Yeah, I use a carrot in the form of some gold or a diamond.
Nah.
They would get you, but you're on a thin leash as it is, young lady. We're still trying to hook you up with that other dude. So
Nick wants to be Snoop Dogg when he went to the VMAs with the two girls on the leashes.
I try to have a better image than that, but that's basically the life I'm living out here.
Yeah, but if you've seen Snoop Dogg lately, according to Biden, Snoop Dogg's not black anymore. You haven't seen the video?
Snoop Dogg's the blackest motherfucker. That guy influenced me so much growing up. Do not.
Yeah, but he said he respects Trump, so according to Biden, he's not black anymore.
How dare he suggest such a thing?
Okay, so real quick, back to the video. Ruel says, keep in mind that this woman said if you make 50K, you need to get a bottom biatch. Yeah, so listen, here's what I want to talk about this, right? She's with the whole 50K, if you make 50, the average medium income household is about 74,000 nationally. It varies for state to state. Like here in California, it's 90,000, right? Where I live at, just in this neighborhood alone, it is 50K. The 1% is making 90K. So the point I'm making is that it's funny how, and I put this on Twitter. I said it's funny how women say, "I don't care about the money. I just want him to like me for me. I just like personality." But then they also say, "Oh, if he's making 50K, don't date." But women act like we have a whole chunk of 50K. That's annually. That means you get a check every single 2 weeks. So and every month you get a certain amount. So if you're taking a woman out on a date, what does she expect you to pay? Because you can still pay for a woman if you choose to, but it's almost like she's expecting men to pay their whole entire paycheck to go to some restaurant that's in some fancy place. It's just,
And
it's
then with
just
some fat bimbo talking shit on the internet.
right. It's totally insane. Matter of fact, there's a video that went viral. I'm actually gonna play this video for you guys in a second, but there's a video that went viral where now, I will say, just to be advocate, it does look a little bit weird because the dude's wearing all this jewelry. I'm not saying that because he has the jewelry that he has to take the woman out to somewhere special. It just looks funny that he has all these jewelry and he's like, "I'm taking you here." It's funny, but it doesn't change the fact that he took her somewhere where it's probably still expensive because of inflation. But she made a big deal about him taking her to this place. It was to Shake Shack, and she got mad that he took her to Shake Shack. And I'm like, but if it's not about the money and it's all about how he spends time with you, personality, and he has to like you for you, then why do you care about where he takes you? And then you went on a date with him. You went there with him, and then you complain and you order food. So
Listen,
let me tell you guys.
break it to her. She's a Shake Shack first date kind of bitch. I hate to tell you this, woman, but like, that's what you get. Like, and these women are so delusional now. So first of all, 50K is more than the average median income for the entire
Well,
United States, for all the
no,
population.
no, it's actually cheap now because according to I think it was the Census Bureau, the average, and this was last done in 2022, if not, I think it was 2022. But the average is nationwide is 74,000. That's the average medium income household is 74,000.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
it's
no, none
74.
of a household. I'm saying per individual. It's like 46 something. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, like for men
Maybe
and
even
women,
42.
you mean for? Hold on.
The average median income per person per
Yeah,
adult.
We'll
I think it's
figure this out.
43.5 if I'm not mistaken. Last I checked.
let me look this up real quick.
But if that's anywhere near there, it's considerably more. 50,000 is considerably more than the average median income. Now, this bimbo is saying that guys like that shouldn't even date. Well, what if I said women that can't clear 150 pounds on the scale shouldn't date? Like, what are we doing here, lady? I mean, you're not bringing a bunch of attributes to the dance. You're a fat, middle-aged woman with the attitude. You should be lucky to get somebody with 50K.
Yeah, I mean,
Or like Kevin Samuels used to say, buy a dog and die alone, bitch.
yeah, I mean to that comparison, when women say, "Well, men want women to be virgins, but they aren't virgins themselves." She's saying men who making 50K should not date, but how much does she make, and how can she's not really in shape? So, and this is a thing too. It's like we're in the time now, and just something I've noticed. I'm just speaking on things I noticed through my observation that women of like all weight, skinny, fat, whatever. It seemed like they all kind of have this expectation. This is what I was saying before about the difference between the red pill and women today. Is that red pill men say if I make a certain amount, then I should deserve to exercise the fruits of my labor, which is have multiple women. Women like this chick in the video who's not in shape, saying things like men who making 50K don't date, and if you are making 50K, then you gotta date the bottom of the barrel. And so I'm wondering, like, what does that even mean? What does the bottom of the barrel woman even mean? Are you saying
Define
that
bottom of the barrel.
She doesn't realize she's bottom of the barrel. She
right?
thinks
And
that she has a
right,
certain income
right.
or whatever, that she's somehow elevated in men's eyes. But we couldn't care less about that shit because just like she's revealing, we're expected to pay. We're not expecting to ever have any of her money. But what these dumb women don't realize is just because you guys think that men are more attractive the more money they make doesn't apply to you the same way. the more money you make, you're not more attracted to us. In fact, if you ask me, this might be controversial, but the more money you make, the less attractive you are to me, because hypergamy tells me that you won't stay with me.
Yeah, and that's something that actually Phyllis Schlafly talked about too. Is that when women tend to make more, their dating, to paraphrase, their dating pool shrinks because they're looking for a man to make just as much as her, if not higher. And that's what
Of course.
happens when you put women into the workforce. Uh, their hypergamy kicks in, and so they tend to want to get a man who makes equal to, if not more. I'm
So the more
trying to.
money they make, the less candidates they have of men that are equal to or above their money amount, which means their dating pool is shrinking the more they make.
Yeah. So it doesn't have the gender specifically, or well, it does, but by age. Let me give you an example. I don't know how to quantify this mathematically, but for example, this is from Forbes, and this is updated in 2024. The median annual, for example, that woman in that video, right? Let's say, because she looks about, if you had to guess her age, you would think she's what, like,
35 to 40.
okay, yeah, I would say somewhere between, yeah, about between 30 and 40. So let's go with that. All right. So let's say, for example, 35, 44, right? The median annual wage for men in that age range from 35 to 44, and this is from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, is $69,108. And then from 25 to 34 is 56,420. So
What's 18? What's 18 to 25? I'm just curious.
so from 16 to 19 is 32,180.
Okay, that's how it averages out. All right, yeah, the young people are really hurting.
Yeah, and then 20 to 24 is 40,000.
Okay.
So I would say the men who, I mean, let's realistically speak, let's go from like 18 and up, but let's just say the men who are from 18 to 34 are making up to 56,000, right? And so she's talking about a man who makes less than that. That's going to be your average 20-something year old making 40,000. So
How about the
her,
women that age? Can we check that out just in case?
oh yeah, absolutely. So women 16 to 19, the same as men, 30,000, 2024, 36,000, 4,000 less than men, 25 to 34, 50,000, 35 to 44, 57,000. And then from then on up, it goes uh, over, yeah, 45 to 54, 57,000, 55 to 64, 54,000, and 65 years and older, 48,000. Whereas for
Oh,
men,
the women starts decreasing.
yeah,
Wow.
and well, for men it does increase, but it's more than women. So for men 65 and older, it's 62,000. For men who are 55 and 64, our 45 to 64 is about 72,000.
Yeah, it decreases, but the women's is steadily going down every day. You guys need men more than you could ever want to acknowledge.
Yeah, because from what it looks like, men's increases and then decreases when they get 65 and older. Women start to decrease after 54 because they go from 57 to 54 to 48. So, but what I wanted to say to that is, even with her age range, right? Let's say she's 35. I don't know how old she is. Let's say from 25 to 44 in her age bracket, women are making up to $57,000. Men are making up to 69,000. So when he said the guy making 50,000 a year shouldn't date, he absolutely should date. There's nothing wrong with that. He's still able to take her out. He may have to work within his means, but they have this expectation that men should be making more. That's very interesting to me because what it does is it puts men in this whole, I gotta like do X, Y, and Z in order to get this type of woman. And then let's say a guy is into her and she gives such high standards, she may not find the guy that she wants because she has, and there's nothing wrong with high standards, but you gotta be realistic about your standards too as well. It's like I get that people say, well, you're not gonna find a virgin, maybe so, but there's nothing wrong with at least looking for a woman who's close to modest as possible, close to peer as possible, like one body count, something like that. So that's why I said moving forward, we should be encouraging young people to wait until marriage so that when men get older and women get older, like in their like 20s, like 2021, and they look for a woman, she will be a virgin. If we can start pushing society like that now, then men later on in their 20s can actually have a woman who's actually a virgin, and there'll be more than less. So,
People need to
but
repent.
sure, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Just real quick, I just want to get back to that video. I just want to make the last little statement, and I'll throw it to you guys. But her saying that men should make 50,000 and should not date. First of all, no one gonna listen to her at all because again, to men looking at that, they're like, well, she's not in shape. Who is she to want this much income from a man when she may not even get that guy? So she herself may have to date down to a guy who is making less. So a
Bro,
guy
nobody's
who,
gonna tolerate a fat bitch like that. She's
yeah,
gonna
I mean, yeah, a men will not. You're right, men will not tolerate that, and for her to say, if you do make 50K, you gotta find yourself a bottom of the barrel woman. Again, like Megan said, define bottom of the barrel because women at that age are making just the same. Like you saying that men make 50K is not enough, but then what about women who making 50K? And I'm not doing the what about the women? No, I'm just saying you're talking about bottom of the barrel. But if both men and women are making the same amount at the same age, then to me, it just sounds like you have high expectations of men to make this much. Because again, the highest a man is making, just the man alone, is 70,000. So you're wanting to get an entrepreneur, a millionaire, and things like that. And with the modern men thinking today, not all, but many men want multiple women. So unless you're willing to, as the red pill says, share him because they want multiple women, that's something that you're going to have to either make the sacrifice because he's taking care of you, or you're going to say, I don't want that and have to date down. So who are you to tell men that they should date at the bottom of the barrel when you will be right there along with them?
Bro, she's the bottom of the barrel, man. Dude, I don't care if guys are monogamous, polygamous, whatever. If they become at all somewhat successful above the average median income, they're not fucking going with a girl like that.
We should all just put our dictionary definition of what bottom of the barrel like overall means.
You want us to tell you what men generally think it means?
I
You
got.
tell us first. What do you think men think it means when we say bottom of the barrel woman?
I mean, I could tell you what I think it's the bottom of the barrel because I mean, I'm not a man. I've never.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
I've never identified as a man.
Give us your best guess on what I could guess what you're going to say about, but give us your best guess on what you think men think women who are the bottom of the barrel are. What are they like?
Cardi B. Her. Like
Explain.
she's bottom of what I would consider bottom of the barrel.
Financially,
No.
she's not the-
What do you think men think of it as bottom of the barrel for women?
Well, I mean, there's a reason why I said that. Gorlock. It's bottom of the barrel.
Not what you think as you, the young lady. Megan, you're killing me sometimes, girl.
That's my job.
So let's.
No, the reason. Okay, so
Base,
now
Megan,
I'll
base.
elaborate, and I feel like you might agree with me on
I want
this.
to reach through the screen
When I
sometimes.
say this, the reason I say Cardi B is, I mean, obviously she's a W word. She portrays herself as that. I mean, if you saw like how her public relationship was, another one. I mean, you see the kind of music she makes, like how she portrays herself, how she talks about other.
You're
people.
right, but you know she's kind of attractive still to a lot of guys, right?
Not really.
No,
She's not to me, by the way.
She is
To be
the-
clear,
she is
I'm
the
saying
depth
that
of her.
That woman in that video is much grosser than Cardi B to most guys.
Her and half of the Kardashian families are dictionary definitions of "you're not ugly, you're just broke."
Yeah, well, so
You're not ugly, you're
financially,
just broke because they've had
So-
like plastic surgery and stuff. So I feel like
Well-
if she's somebody who just doesn't have respect for herself, she she sexualizes herself too much. She brings her kids into it. It's like, what are you going to tell what do you think your kids think about like what you're doing and stuff?
Yeah, but-
and all of it like for selfish reasons. Like she doesn't care like how her kids see her. She doesn't care like how other people see her, even if she's.
Now
just
you're right about the wife part, but remember how we often say men have kind of two categories? You could either be a wife or like a fun thing. How about that side? Was she great with that?
well, financially, she's not.
Well, she's not that great
Barrel.
either. She's just
But-
not a good influence and stuff. Like she's
Sure,
not
but
how women should.
financially, she's not bottom of the barrel. She actually has a lot of money. Now, morally, she is. but
Money
financially, she
doesn't
isn't.
define whether or not you're bottom of
No.
the barrel.
Hold on. This is what I don't want you to conflate. Financially and realistically, she's not bottom of the barrel because she is making a lot of money. Yes, money does not equate to character, but technically, financially, she's not bottom of the barrel because she's making a lot of money. She's up there
By
with the
acting
top
like a
1%. I know, but Megan, you got to understand, your feelings aside, right? Logically, financially, she's at the top. Morally, she's at the bottom, but financially, she's at the top. Like Sexy Red, morally, she's at the bottom. But when she acquires more money based on the music that she puts out, if she becomes a millionaire, she'll be inching her way up. Kim Kardashian got a gang of money, right? She's up there with other financial people, top tier women, but morally, she's at the bottom of the barrel. So I hear what you're saying, Megan. I just want you to kind of understand the distinction technically that financially they're on top, but morally they're on the bottom.
How about this? Cardi B or Oprah do you think is lower to most men?
well, this is the hardest this or that ever. I mean,
Okay,
Favorite-
let's start by first and foremost for men, looks. Who wins?
by what? By looks?
Yeah, Cardi B or Oprah?
I mean, well, to answer the first part, I was gonna say, I would definitely choose Oprah. 'Cause she didn't make her career off of being a
Stay with me.
Okay.
Looks are the first thing that men look at. So, like Cardi B or Oprah, who wins that looks wise?
Oof. I know guys don't like makeup. I know guys don't like plastic surgery.
Cardi B or Oprah? Come on, are you serious, Megan?
Well, but
Oprah's like 60.
I mean, yeah, they're not a part of like the same, age group.
Youth. Okay, let's go with how about fertility, youthfulness? Cardi B or Oprah?
Cardi B, but she's probably carrying diseases.
Well,
Always, Megan.
I said what I said.
okay, perhaps, but just
Never
speaking
make
generally,
your answers easy. Megan, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
A homemade Cuban coffee with scrambled eggs and bacon.
Why was that so easy to answer? But then when Nick says Oprah and Cardi B, you gotta like go around it. Like
Because for that first question, there's only one right answer.
Megan,
yeah,
what I'm trying to get across to you is most dudes wouldn't bang Oprah with a 10-foot pole. She's just
I feel
not.
like it'd be hard because it's like, because you were even saying it like, looks and appearances like do matter, but at the same time, you also, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't date like a slut. You wouldn't date somebody
Right, that's what I was
who
trying
has
to.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, there's different value factor or systems here for men, whereas for you women, it's kind of like one.
yeah.
Like
And-
Oprah seems like, if you see how she dresses, what she does for a living, her life story, it's like she has so much better.
You're not going to tell us on Oprah being attractive, Megan. Just listen to us.
Well, but
It's like a
Oprah has
lose-lose.
but she has more money, so a man might go with Oprah because she has more money, whereas Cardi B doesn't have Oprah money. Financially, they're both in a certain bracket, but I think men will go more towards Oprah only because she has more money. But like as far as just
She doesn't sexualize herself.
I don't think men are
Yeah.
expecting to get any of their riches. Really, do you think?
I would just say, I think probably.
men might.
I mean, some guys want cougars. I mean, some guys.
Well, you
do.
know how
I
they
think
could.
They would probably go with
Paulie line.
Oprah because
Shout out to Paulie on Instagram. He says to women, "Hey, do you value your body or money more? Your body or your paycheck?" And they'll obviously say, "My body." And he'll say, "Okay, have you ever given your paycheck to a man you're in love with?" He'll say, "No." He'll say, "But you've given your body to them." Make that make sense? Boom. That's how you get a paycheck, and that's how you get her paying for the dates.
Interesting. I see where he's going with that. I see where he's going.
I mean, they give up their body, but not a paycheck.
Yeah.
You would think they'd give up a paycheck before their body if they valued it more.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a dude, I'd choose Oprah because based on how she's acquired her money and just just looking at her,
Julius, put her off the show right now.
no.
Well, hold up a sec. Hold up. So I just want to read this real quick because he said bottom of the barrel. This is what it says on the internet. It says a person or thing of low quality or poor character. So that's bottom of the barrel. So when that woman is saying that men making 50K should go to the bottom of the barrel, she's basically saying that men need to find a woman with low quality or poor character because she's not gonna lift you up to be the man that she wants you to be, not that you need to be, it's that she wants you to be. And oftentimes when women build men into their image, like their God, then they often end up resenting that man because he ends up becoming just as feminine as her. And that's sometimes the problem with women trying to fix men, is that they end up wanting the men to be just like them, which is a good segue, matter of fact, to segue into well, first of all, I'll segue in that real quick, but let me segue into this real quick in this video of this woman here who was upset by the man taking her out to Shake Shack, which goes into the whole men making this much shouldn't go on dates. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this man's making 50K and he's able to, he saved up money. Like, and this is the thing, when we don't think about, they don't think about how men can save. Even making 50K, you can still save money. Just put a little bit aside, build up over time. You have a certain amount of money to do whatever you want to do. And so this woman, the caption reads, "Wait, this for real? Women really out here complaining about Shake Shack for a date now? Come on now, men deserve better. Dump her and leave her there." So here's that video here where she's upset at him taking her to Shake Shack.
Y'all see how I look right now? This man that brought me on a date to Shake Shack. Like, of all places. Bro. Look at him. Bro, you got all the chains and stuff like that on your neck. Like that girl, she might have been wrong.
Shake Shack. How outraged he is by this. You don't like Shake Shack?
Look, there's nothing wrong with Shake Shack. Shake Shack is a good spot. You tripping.
Really? So you could have took me nowhere else better than Shake Shack.
And Shake Shack is a good spot.
You got me.
Any
That's it.
female would have loved to go to Shake Shack.
You got me 2 sandwiches and a drink.
So what? And it cost me $50.
That's just right, bitch.
$50.
Shake Shack is expensive.
Let me see the receipt.
I've been there.
That's how much it costs. You act like you ungrateful. That's why I don't like going on dates.
Especially depending on where they're at.
I mean, you be going out spending hundreds of thousands at the club and stuff like that. I don't see why I gotta come to Shake Shack.
But the thing about it is this is lunch. You feel me? You said let's go out for lunch. Surprise me, and I took you to Shake Shack. And this is how you act.
And that's the best surprise you could have got. Go ahead, start recording. I'm already in there.
I'm gonna show the internet.
Yeah, show them.
You feel me?
Show them.
But you want to order like you still order like you want to eat. You still about to eat.
I didn't say the food was nasty. I just said I wanted something else.
You wanted to go to what? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I mean, shoot. I mean, right here in the South Side. I mean, all these fancy restaurants over here. We couldn't have got something that at least gave me some silverware.
We could have went that for dinner.
Okay, but check this out. Check this out, though. Hold on. I'm about to prove a point, though. Pick up your fork. Pick up your fork. Let me see your fork.
That's how Shake Shack do it.
That's a fork.
This is how Shake Shack do it.
Okay.
This is how Shake Shack. This is
right.
Finger food.
Okay.
Like, you don't even need a fork. This is bougie. Like, that's bougie.
So
he's doing a promo for Shake Shack. He's like, "You're too good for Shake Shack."
I mean, his first mistake was, and I agree with Varel when he said, "Dog, don't argue with her." That was his first mistake, was arguing with her. First mistake. If I was in his position and she's like, "Look at him," I'd be like,
I would have said, "I'm taking the sandwiches back, bitch."
No, I wouldn't say that. I would just eat my food.
They're mine now.
Yeah, I would just eat my food, and if she wants
eat her food that you just bought.
Yeah, because if she's not gonna eat it, then yeah. But I mean, what I would do is if I was in that situation, and she's recording me, I would eat my food, and she's like, "Oh, he took me to Shake Shack." I'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna eat that? No? Okay, cool. I'll eat it when I'm done with this one."
Yeah, I'll take it home for leftovers. I'm great, bitch.
So that's what I would do. I wouldn't even argue with her. I would just know that she's not the one. And sometimes in that situation, men will often still deal with that because, again, most men are not getting lots of women. Now, mind you, this isn't the reason why I could sense this, right? He has on all this jewelry, so he looks like he has options, but at the same time, it looks like he doesn't. Because he's arguing back. He felt some type of way.
Exactly, bro.
And I'm not saying he should exercise his option. What I'm saying is that he looks like he doesn't have options, which goes to my point. When men don't have options like that, I'm not saying options to sleep around. I'm saying options to kind of see who's like the one, maybe go on dates. Don't have sex, but just go on a date.
He's not starved for attention. That's what, that gives you leverage.
Yeah, exactly. Because she said something about him. At first, he was kind of like handling it. He was calm. But then the more he just kept going, he felt some type of way. You should never argue with her, man. Because now she got the upper hand. And now she can use that against you, which is why Shaq says, don't be vulnerable with women. So
is this a situation to maybe take the upper hand and five across the eyes?
It's God. Oh man, you're gonna make all the
Look,
feminists
Dank
mad.
Buzz. Great minds think alike, Dank Buzz.
Sometimes you got a backhand, just backhand. Does Wayne Brady have to choke a woman?
Yeah. Megan, you were thinking the same thing, right?
What?
Nothing.
I just saw like let the backhand
Jack.
fly and slapping. I'm like, nope, don't lay hands because if she presses charges, she'll charge more than the initial date itself. Because
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you'll
good.
be fine.
Good advice. If you're
charge
gonna
more
do
than
it,
You'll
make
be
sure you
fine.
end it there.
So
Don't
charge
get
more than
yourself
what you
fined.
pay
Don't
for
get
it.
yourself those felony charges.
Great advice, Megan. If you're gonna do that, fellas, make sure you end her and put her in the ground there.
No, because then you'll be sentenced.
Just think it through, guys.
No
Yeah.
WHORE is worth time in prison.
Yeah,
Is Megan Brody gonna have
backhand,
Djokovic?
yeah, that backhand will put you in the backyard of prison. You know how it is these
Like
days.
don't be in the backyard of prison. Just leave and find someone else. There's 8 billion people in the world.
You
Yeah.
talking about booty boys?
So just real quick before I go on to the next video, this is what I mean. And again, all this ties into that women talking about 50K, things like that. This is what I mean. If that guy, and I hope that guy watches this podcast, I hope he comes across it. She said Southside, so it sounded like that was in Chicago. Usually I always hear Southside mentioned with Chicago, but even still, again, he should have never argued with her. He should have just kept his cool. She reporting him, keep you cool, eat your food, like whatever it is, what it is.
Where are
Like, you
these
gonna eat
people
that?
meeting each other?
He's
You
like,
said what?
look, that's these pencils. It's finger food. Shake Shack. That's what we. He's
No,
talking
yeah,
about
Look at
Shake
two
Shack.
people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like he should never did none of that. Like all that was unnecessary. All he had to do
I
was
feel like
just
it was
eat his
staged
food.
though, because I feel like it would have gone
No,
down.
no.
That's,
I've been
that's
around
not
too many
fake.
women like that in my life. I can tell
I've
you
seen
that
too many of these
felt
videos. I'm
pretty
starting to
damn
think some of these
real.
are just staged for TikToks.
And his
I don't think it's
embarrassment and how he handled it, it felt pretty damn real, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't think that was staged. There are women that really do be doing that, just like women who go to the gym and purposely film men because they're looking at them. People do stuff on the internet and they want to just do it for attention. So she could have been recording to get the attention. He was the innocent victim here. I don't think it was staged from neither of them. You can tell when something is really staged because people tend to do extra when they stage it. It's more extra than it normally is. That guy was very genuine, but his only problem was he argued back with her. Men, don't ever argue back with her. Do not argue back with the woman if she does something like that. Just do you, be calm, eat your food, and if she's not going to eat it, then you say, hey, I'm going to get this to go, and then you just walk out. You say you can find your own ride home. We got Uber and Lyft. Go find your own ride home. You're not riding back with me, and keep it moving.
He's like, nah, that's what they do. It's Shake Shack. You never had Shake Shack before?
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. But I'm not gonna lie, Shake Shack is very. I mean, it's costly. It's costly. It's a lot. But the $50 thing, I was like, I don't know if he spent $50 because
Fight inflation.
You could, dude. The Shake Shack's a nice first date, especially for her. She's a Shake Shack first date. That's the that's the level she's at.
Yeah, depending on what he got, it could have been $50. I know when I went, I probably went $50. When I went, I paid at least like 20 something. Yeah, probably like $50.
Yeah, if you buy that bitch 2 sandwiches and a large shake, I mean that's another 20 some bucks on top, you know.
And plus, they're in Chicago. Because when I went, I was in DC, and it was pretty expensive in DC. So, yeah, this men don't do that. If you go on a date with a female like that, do not argue with her because she's just going to use it against you, make her out to be the victim. You'll get mad at me. And don't argue
Where are
with
these
her.
people meeting each other is the question. I'm just curious.
Probably,
Where do they
probably online. Probably online. I told somebody earlier. I was like, they were talking
Online
about
dating?
dating apps. Well, yeah, I was saying that there's no such thing as a dating app because every app's a dating app. Instagram's a dating app. Facebook's a dating app. Twitter is a dating app. Every app you have that involves people and profiles is a dating app. If you think about it, no such thing as a dating app. Every app's a dating app. I mean, there's no such thing as like a separate dating app. Every app is a dating app, technically speaking. So there's dating app, but they're not really dates. So yeah, you have your Tinder, you got Bumble, you got this, you got that, but every single app is a dating app. People are hooking up on Instagram and doing DMs like that. People are hooking up on Twitter. So every app's a dating app, in my opinion. But what I was saying earlier about the segue, real quick, any final thoughts you guys have on that video? You guys want to talk about or
Many thoughts.
Go ahead, Megan.
But most of them being where did they meet is the question. Because I don't know, I just look at all these videos and they all seem the same. I'm like, how much do you want to bet they all met on Tinder?
She knows him through a friend or a sister or something like that because she talked about him like she knows him. Oh, you spend all this money at the club.
Yeah. Yeah, she did bring that
But
up.
I do get a woman's point when she says that, but again, it's just like, where do these people like meet? And this is like the reason why I say it's all fake is just because these are things that get a lot of attention on TikTok, and it's the same thing over and over again. Like I see all of the same videos.
Absolute fail on the test date, Melanie. Yeah, the shit test date. You remember? You've been studying.
I feel like those test dates are a little. It's a little, I don't think
Shut up. No, go ahead. They're a little what?
I don't know, because it's like I see one side. It's like one side is like, like is she shallow or is he shallow sometimes? And then another one could be, like, oh, but on the other side, it could be like, oh, is he just trying to, do as little as possible? And I feel like something that a lot of women have in the back of their heads is he trying to do me afterwards? It's like, oh, you're going to only spend like this much and then, try to do me. The times are just so different. It's kind of like sad seeing how some things have like changed. This is why I say, people just need, she had money.
Exactly. Thank Buzz is right. She knew he had money and she expected him to pay for her. Like she's like, oh, he spent money in the club, so take me here. And it's like, who cares if he goes to the club? Who cares? That's his own thing to do. It's without
his freaking trap house laundry money.
If you don't,
you gotta earn that. You're a steak and shake first date, girl.
If you're a guy or a girl who doesn't like their boyfriend or girlfriend going to the club, don't date someone who goes to the club.
Yeah, well, she's trying to become his bottom
money. And this goes back to what the Pew Review research.
I think from a woman's perspective,
hold up. Let me just say this goes back to what men value in women and what women value into men. Women value financial, men value the physical. So she saw that he got, which is why she said, you went to the club and spent this money. Therefore, she had expectations, thinking she was going to get princess treatment or queen treatment. And then when she went to Shake Shack, she was like, wait, hold on. How come I getting treated like this? Because you have to earn it, woman. And you have not earned him taking you to somewhere fancy.
Well, she said, you're spending all that money on all those hoes in the club. Why don't you spend it on me, a classy broad who ain't putting out? That's exactly why. Those hoes were putting out. That's probably what he's thinking. He's like, and until you show me signs that your attitude's going to be better and you might be putting out Shake Shack or whatever it is.
Well, I disagree with the putting out.
I'm not saying that like that's what he should be doing. I'm saying like that's what it is most of the time on these dates. And that's probably what she saw as like he's spending money on hoes in the club and bottles and shit. And she's like, oh, well, that's a shit test right there. If he doesn't spend it on me, who's a wholesome girl, not doing that, then, I can give him shit for it. But in reality, he's thinking to himself, it's because you're not doing that stuff that I'm not spending money on you. Yeah. Why would I deal with the headache?
You guys got great comments in the great perspective in the comments.
I do judge both. Okay, I judge both of their outfits.
Oh, Megan. Like shout out to Instagram people, by the way.
Like I'm trying to see what she was wearing.
Out there, I saw Quell out there. Oh,
hello.
Did you see that, Julius?
What?
So
all the balloons just went up.
What they were wearing. Wait, it was like she was wearing some like.
Let's see. What did I do to make that happen? Shout out Edgar Instagram.
Oh, the thumbs up came back.
No, a bunch of balloons went up all around me when I was shouting out.
Yeah, that's so. I don't know why it does that.
Shout out to Julius.
Shout out to me. Oh,
no, I was trying to see if I said shout out, it would pop up on my end.
Yeah, I'm trying to think why.
And the host with the most.
I'm trying to think why. I'm like, there's something on StreamYard that I'm missing or something. That click something.
Okay, wait, Julius. My second observation was what they were wearing. It was like she was wearing some like zip-up bodysuit, and I recognize that bodysuit from
Let's get back, Julius. Can we go back and see what she's wearing now that Megan's pointing it out?
And then he was wearing some like.
You feel it's significant, Megan, to check out these wardrobes?
Yeah.
What do you see, girl? What are you seeing?
Y'all see
I
this?
don't want to say what
Look at
he
me.
looks like, but it's just not professional.
He looks like a drug dealer, gangbanger, sort of, right?
So she has on
He's wearing like a rash guard that you would wear to the beach, and she's wearing like post-workout turned casual wear.
Well,
Yes. What
I
do you?
mean, he just. I mean, he got dreads. People with dreads tend to wear that stuff so that their hair is not everywhere. That's
No,
why
I'm
they
talking
wear
about his
that.
shirt.
What's wrong with his shirt?
It looks like a rash guard that you would wear to the beach.
I mean, it's a shirt.
I don't know if it's just being from Florida and like the way people, especially in the Latino community, we tend to, I don't know, dress a little more professional and stuff when going
Are you
out.
No,
trying to
We
say,
always
wait, hold on. Are you trying to say black people don't dress
I'm
professional,
not
Megan?
saying,
Are you
oh,
being racist,
amazing.
Megan?
no.
See,
Are you saying they're
liberals
like
were
less
right.
sophisticated,
People from
Megan?
Florida are racist now.
Are you saying they're like somehow less?
There's
civilized?
some black men who know how to dress. Okay,
Breaking news.
this isn't it.
Megan is racist.
So the blacks are less civilized. Okay, Megan.
Well, I'm not. Well,
You
technically,
guys
I'm
heard
not
it here
white, so I
first.
can't be racist.
Megan.
That
Oh,
is not us.
now
I
she's
can't be
trying to play the whole. I'm minority. I can't be racist.
But she said she was whitewashed just before this. She admitted it. So
Oh, she's even more racist. Oh man, you
So,
just.
somebody's trying to.
Woo!
Someone's
Black
trying
liberals
to
gonna be mad at you.
unculture me. They're trying to culturally cleanse me. I'm no longer Latino.
but
No, like if I was like, for example, and I do have a story. I do have a little bit of
We're
like
clipping
a,
this, by the way. We're gonna clip this. Megan is racist.
Ruel said, "Bring back black
Superheroes racist
Megan."
against
Yeah,
black people.
bring back black hair Megan. She didn't hate black people.
Hey, I've seen, in my defense, I've seen guys on my college campus wear stuff like that, and they were in all white boy fraternities.
Bring back black hair Megan.
I know. This
The
new
the
hair
hair's
ain't
changed me.
working
The hair's
out.
changed me.
That's right, bro. Bring back black hair Megan. Hashtag black hair Megan.
She was more Latina.
You know, she ditched the black hair. She ditched the black race.
Oh man. All right. So what I was gonna segue into earlier was when I talked about, again, this woman saying that, oh, this guy went to the club. So she saw money, which what I said earlier, women tend to view financial into men, which is funny too, because there's these two women on a podcast. I think they're supposed to be Christian women, but what she said she was looking for in a guy, to me, it just goes back to women tend to look at financial because they look for certain things in men, which is totally fine, but you have to be realistic in what you're looking for, is what I'm saying. So if you don't find that guy, you may have to settle. And I know women may not like that word, but again, you gotta think, as much as men are talking about modern women, there are modern men who, again, they say, if I make a lot of money, then I deserve to sleep with multiple women because I'm making a whole bunch of money. Like, I didn't work this hard, not. And mind you, I heard Myron Gaines say this, so this isn't a red pill thing. I just heard Myron Gaines said this. He was like, I didn't work this hard to not F any women. So it's like that entitlement. No disrespect to Myron Gaines. I'm just saying that that mentality of, I didn't work this hard to not have sex with multiple women. It's just like women saying, I deserve a good man just because. And so I want to play this video of what these women are looking for. Now, this is an interesting video because these women are supposed to be Christian women. They call themselves Bible. This comes from Bible Lady on TikTok. I think they call themselves something different. It might be Bible Lady, but what she says she's looking for in a man is exactly what the red pill space often mentions what women want in men: tall, rich, handsome. It's interesting stuff. So check this out here in what she says. Let me play this video right now. Check this out. And this is what she says here. Mind you, these are two Christian women, supposedly.
I want a man 6'4", 6'2" is fine, or like a retired NBA player. I just want somebody, like I want his life to be the Bible. Like I just want somebody who's so obsessed with the Bible and so obsessed with Jesus and who understands and like we said, like who can teach us things. Yeah. Like I want my dude to speak in tongues and have tattoos. I just want
Oh, for fuck's sake,
Like a
Julius.
nice classic man. I want somebody who will literally protect me and beat someone's butt if they need to, but also will sit there with compassion and just like a good-hearted man.
That's what a true man is. There has to be that dichotomy. It's the same thing with feminine women too. There's always a dichotomy.
Yeah.
There's a softness and a strength.
Yeah.
And for
Bro, is this
men,
Seth,
being
bro?
masculine is being able to beat someone's butt. You know, maybe not physically, but like being
Is
a
this a joke?
protector and like doing what he needs to do to protect his family. But then also
Oh my
being
God.
soft enough to like be able to tend to his wife's feelings and like to be a good, loving
This is a joke,
father
right?
to his kids. Like there's gotta be that dichotomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Megan make that with her friends as a joke?
Why is it because they're fake blondes? I mean, I'm not blonde. It's just highlights. It's just it looks like I'm blonde because wait, hold on, let me just
Look, Daddy Bless again, right on the same page. Is this satire, right?
see. Look, brown-haired Megan's sort of back. See, just a second. Yeah, just look at me like right here.
That was a joke, right? I'm blown away, dude.
Because they said beat someone's butt, and I was like, this has to be a joke.
I thought they said
Yeah.
eat someone's butt, like K-Train thought.
No, she said
Not
beat.
just
Yeah,
physical.
but so if you
This is
listen to,
satire.
well, I mean, well, these women are actually they're actually for real. I've seen their podcast clips before. They're actually for real. Hold on a second. I gotta check something real quick because I'm hearing a little feedback every now and then. So make sure that my microphone is
How do we sound to you guys out there in the chat? You guys hear anything? Is it coming through clear?
okay. I just want to make sure that my microphone's working. Yeah, just a small feedback. But notice what she said when she said, "I want a man who's 6'4". She's like 6'2" is okay.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
She?
That's what I'm saying. If she, unless she's like hecka tall, but the fact that
So
she
right
like,
there, she counts herself out of the runnings of like 95% of men. Most men at high is like 6 foot. 5, I think 9 or 8 or something is the average. So
yeah, the average height
5%
for
of men are
men,
just out the window right there because that's stupid qualification.
yeah, the average height for men. Actually, I do want to look that up real quick just to get it. Melanie said I had feedback the entire time. Did I really? I wonder if it's because I pulled up it because we're live on Instagram. I mean, it's on mute, so I made sure to not do that. But
Guys, let us know next time if you hear that. We'll correct it on our end.
yeah. Okay. So real quick, I just want to point out, even though we're live on Instagram, which is fantastic, it's not showing viewer, but people definitely did peek their heads in. So I'm still fine with that. Just want to let that be known. I'm glad we even got the Instagram going on. I'm just happy about the Instagram. I'm still excited about that. Okay. Average male height USA. Let me see. The average height for males. Let me see, average height. This is a worldpopulationreview.com that this comes from. I think it says the average height for white men is 5'10", black men 5'9", Asian men 5'7", and Hispanic men 5'7". And
Black men
then
are shorter than white men on average.
what you said? What?
Did I hear that right? The white men are the tallest and the black men are just under them?
Yeah, white man 5'10", black man 5'9".
And the Asians come in at like a 5'1".
No, Asians are 5'7", and Asian and Hispanics are 5'7". Let me see.
So yeah, 5'10" or anywhere from 5'10" to 5'7". So let's call it 5'8", 5'8.5" is the average height for a man. Dude, 6'2" minimum. You're delusional, woman. You're retarded.
Yeah, and let me see something real quick.
Hey, Edgar's out in the chat. It's USA, I believe, Edgar.
All I can say is, as far as wanting a tall guy, I'm only 5'3", so finding a guy taller than me is not that difficult. Everyone's taller
I'd
than
be
me.
more than happy even with a shorter than average guy. You'd still be
Yeah,
plenty
the average.
enough to
Yes,
Yeah,
I hype up short kings, but you
Oh,
know,
that's
but
right.
every
so
guy's
the
taller than me.
well, the average height for women is 5'4". So the average height for women is 5'4".
I'm
The average
below
height
average.
for men is up to 5'10". When she says she wants a guy who's 6'4", but then says 6'2" is okay. Now it's just
This is
like
all satire. If you watch the rest of the video,
honestly, I don't think it is. These women actually really do have a podcast.
I
Like they
want a
claim to
guy
be.
who can beat someone's butt, and
I
not
hope it's
just
satire.
physically.
Yeah, and then also too with saying that, like when she said I want a guy to beat someone's butt, in what
Not just
situation would you want him to be? I mean, look, men should be able to fight. I would agree with that. Men should be able to fight. I mean, at the very least, we should be able to handle ourselves when it comes to like sparring, something like that. We should be able to fight. But in what situation would you have to be in to beat a man's butt for her? Unless
A lot of
she's
promiscuous outfits and her running her mouth and just you name it.
beat someone's butt,
yeah,
not just physical.
yeah,
So
it
like
was weird. And,
that's
and,
what I
and then
knew it was satire.
and then she was talking about a man being in his feminine, just like a man being in his a woman being in her masculine. And that's the thing. It's like women want men to be compassionate, but that's such a woman nature. When a man does become more feminine, she gets turned off by that. So they say they want one thing, but then their actions speak a whole lot differently. It's like I want a man. Hold on, okay. You guys hear that feedback right there? Do you guys hear that?
Yeah,
Is that me? Because I've been hearing
probably
that
your
the
mic,
entire
like
time.
you moving your mic.
Here, I'll mute.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. But anyways, yeah, it's just fascinating to me. Mind you, it does seem like satire because even in the comments, people were saying like, "Is this real?" Like people were really asking this. And then she said that she wants a retired NBA player.
See, that's when you know it's satire. Come on.
Maybe a retired WNBA player.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
NBA.
I mean, a retired NBA player. I mean, this is a guy that again, you want him to make a certain amount of money. It's not because he's you say tall things like that because he got lots of money. You want a retired NBA player because you want money, and women will often say it's not about the money; it's about his personality. But then, why does personality always come with a dollar sign?
Hey, so are you feeding back still? People, let us know out there. I think Melanie said it might be you.
No,
Is it listenable? I mean, is it barely there, folks, or is it like taken away from you?
I've heard it sometime. I'm not sure what it is, but I did hear it. Yusuf says because Christians don't realize to be set apart from this world, they want both. Messiah says, "Choose me," or you see, I had that feedback right there. Choose me or choose the world. No lukewarm. No, this podcast is real. I don't know what that means, but I know this podcast is real.
The St. Angel Man is real, baby.
Yeah, we're the authentic. We're the Nacho Basic Alpha Male podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody else is fake and satire and wants TikTok views.
We've got our little Megan alongside to help, soften the load.
Yeah. Oh,
and the misogynist men ourselves.
If it is just me, I may have to come back out and come back in.
Yeah, why don't you try to leave?
It's like whenever you move your mic.
No, my mic is fine. It's been fine all day long. It was fine earlier.
Move your phone away from the mic. Ruel said, and he seems to know this stuff.
Yeah, could
be. Just threw that shit like a boss. Did you see that, people?
It could be. That's
like a drug dealer with his burners. He's just throwing them around the room.
All right, let me just my bed's like right there. That's why. Let me still come back out and come back in and see what happens. So hang on a second.
All right. In the meantime, Megan, do you want to call up your buddy and see if we can?
Wait, hold on. If I leave, I wonder if you're gonna shut down the whole thing.
I'm pretty sure I'm co-hosting, and you might be able to. Well,
I was gonna
because it says, "Are you sure you want to leave?" And if I leave studio and I want this to end.
Oh no! Yeah,
I'm concerned. Okay.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
All right. I'll mute for now. Try to fix it, but you guys go ahead and talk, and we'll see the feedback still come through.
Okay, let us know out there, people. So, Megan, any notes that you've been taking along the way that I know you're always studious and you're always taking notes and bringing things to the table. So, anything that we've overlooked or that you might want to bring up?
I mean, I was gonna tell Julius after the live because I feel like with what I'm going to tell him and stuff, I don't know if like I should. Not like that I shouldn't. It's just like, should I really like say it all on the pod?
You're gonna confess your long lost love for Julius.
Yeah, stop, dude.
Do it on the show.
First Rosita, now
There's
Megan,
a 14-year age gap. I'm pretty sure.
Nick's trying to turn
have an age of men polygamous family.
Nick's trying to turn into a polygamist now. Stop that, man. Stop that. I don't do polygamy.
You guys thought it was gonna be me.
Megan, no, don't tell your personal business on social.
Well, it's not like bad. It's not like bad personal business, but I just don't want to like take attention. Even though I feel like it does correlate like with the topic, I just don't want to take like that kind of like attention away. Even though I mean, it is good news. Don't worry.
Well, just don't. Yeah, just don't. Just tell me afterwards. Don't, because the internet is forever. So just don't.
True.
Just don't.
Now we all really want to know, but yeah, Joyce is probably right.
Yeah, tell me afterwards. Don't
I'll
tell
tell
me.
Nick. Don't worry. I'll let you know too, Nick.
Yeah, write it down and tell me afterwards. Don't tell me. Don't say it.
And I'll tell you guys next week. No, I'm just kidding.
But just know I'm not going to be asking out my guy best friend.
Okay, so real quick. Well, I have something to say about that. But anyways, real quick, what's all I'm gonna say? So I did have other things to react to. The problem is it's on Instagram, and I don't think I could turn off the Instagram tab because it will end the live stream. Supposedly it's Instagram said that they're supposed to end the live after an hour. So it's still showing live right now.
Wait,
so
Julie, send it to me and I can share my screen.
Oh, that's well. I will still have to. Oh,
you'd have to log in. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can. Oh man,
can you pull it up on your computer, or share something that's like on your computer?
I can do it from my phone, and do it that way. But
if you just didn't throw it across the room,
like do you have your like? I was gonna say if you can connect it through your computer because I have Instagram on my computer and you can pull it up there even if that account is like on live.
Yeah, Angel said the feedback isn't that bad. It's just sometimes when you talk. I did plug out. I took the plug out the microphone and tried to plug it back in. I wonder. Let me see if I can just pull my mic down just a little bit. Maybe it's too close to my voice. That can be the reason
probably
why.
The Bluetooth every once in a while getting funny.
Actually, is my Bluetooth on? Hold on a sec. You guys go ahead and talk.
Testes 1 2 3. Testes 1 2 3. Age of Man. Testes, Megan 1 2 3. Testes.
Trump 2024.
Oh.
Is that what I said?
All right. I don't want to get into a political because I certainly could talk about that right now.
I'm not going to divulge. I'm just making a statement.
Listen, Julius left us in charge while he's gone for a couple minutes. We can't, sell the shop. Let's not look bad.
For legal reasons, this is just my opinion.
Let's make Julius feel like he can trust us when he turns his back.
He knows everything I say is solely just my opinion.
I think I'm supposed to be in charge here, so don't get me in trouble, young lady.
This is my opinion.
So, hey, did you watch the Super Bowl and did you notice any of the I forget the one young famous chick's name, but she has a upside down cross on it. It's been controversial lately.
That was Ice Spice.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. I hated it. The only thing I really paid attention to at the Super Bowl was the game itself. Usher, thank God he did not bring Justin Bieber out on that stage. I was like, please, anybody but Justin Bieber.
There's another controversy that he was hugging up on Alicia Keys hard. And she's married.
Allegedly.
Well, he tweeted, the beta that's married to her tweeted like, hey, guys, you're getting focused on the wrong thing. When everybody was like talking about him groping his wife, Alicia.
The only thing I say about the Super Bowl is that like it gave that singer and rapper Post Malone like the opportunity to really show off his vocals.
Well, quick guys.
Like Lady Gaga and Billie Eilish, because like based on their songs, you don't really get to see like their true vocals when they actually have to show them off. And I mean,
hold on,
not like the best singer, but I think he did really, really good.
Hold up, real
You
quick.
are beautiful.
The feedback is not from me. I heard it from Megan. 'Cause even when I was on mute, it was from Megan.
Try to mute Megan. See if that's.
Yeah, because I was listening to you guys. I turned my Bluetooth off because it was on for some reason. Thought I turned it off. As
Is
I
it
was
still going, Julius, while she's muted?
I don't hear it now. But I know
Megan,
when
talk for a second. Talk for a
oh,
second.
see it right there. When you talked, I heard it just now. So
The world may never
Here,
know.
Megan, you try with me muted real quick. Sorry, folks.
yeah, Megan, say something real quick.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a controversial Hispanic.
Okay, now you go on mute, and then Nick, you start talking.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a controversial Hispanic.
Okay, weird. I didn't hear it.
I'll give you an A- on that impression. You need the part-time blonde hair. Well, if I turn this way, I still look brunette.
Can you guys imagine that? Imagine Nick having like highlights in his hair.
Bro, blow my freaking beta head off if you ever see me come to
Just
that like that.
actually, I would say shave the sides, grow out the top part, get like a little bit of highlights. You look like you come from like the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like a West Coast.
Party would that ever happen?
It could look good. It could look good.
Well, it would also look very, very.
So real quick, K-Train said, I assume Usher knocked up Alicia. So I do want to talk about that real quick. And what I was going to say was this. I was going to say, if you guys want to, we can react to the whatever podcast as they're live right now.
Yeah. Great idea.
But I want to bring up the thing real quick and get you guys' thoughts on this. So with the Super Bowl, right? I know Ice Spice was doing the whole devil thing. She's across upside down. Look, she's satanic. Even without doing that, just her twerking all the time is demonic. So there's that. We can cut that out the way now. Now with Usher groping himself, I actually had a talk with somebody close to me. Can't say who, but someone close to me. We had this kind of debate, and I told him, I said, if a man lets another man grope his wife on stage, that is cuck-like behavior. I said she's a harlot. He's like, he looked up what the word harlot means. Like, oh, she's a prostitute. And I was saying that, well, no, I'm saying that she's degenerate. Like, that's disrespectful to her husband to let another man grope on your wife. And then the guy, Swiss Beats, her husband, was like, it's okay. It's a halftime show. That is cuck-like behavior. Listen, Swiss Beats, I respect the fact that you got some dope beats. I respect you, brother, in the hip-hop game. But that was cuck-like behavior, my man. And Usher, you should know, dog, bro code, man. Bros before hoes. I'm not calling Alicia Keys a hose. I'm just saying the code of the bro code, bros before hoes. You grope yourself on another man's
Be a guy's
wife.
guy.
Well, it was cuck-like behavior for sure, literally in front of the whole freaking world, because the Super Bowl is viewed by more than anybody ever. That said, it's cuck-like behavior where maybe he felt he was safe because Usher's a booty boy, GAY, with Puff Daddy and Bieber and the rest of them. I mean, he's fruity. I don't think he's into women like that. But either way, like,
I think he is. But
not a good look.
Here's a hot take. Usher was a cuck too.
Ooh, how so?
Think about it. He knows that Swiss Beats has a wife. So therefore he's
the stud they call that. The dude that bangs the woman in the cuck situation.
Right. So it's like both of them view each other a certain way. So Usher sees that Alicia Keys has a husband who obviously she's having intercourse with. Swiss Beats is looking at his woman getting groped by another man. They're both simultaneously cucks because they both got their eye on one woman who's getting the best of both worlds.
The one's the cuckold, the one that watches the husband, and Usher is what they call the stud, the cuck stud. He's the dude that's banging out the chick.
But he's also the cuck by knowing the fact that Alicia Keys is banged out by her husband.
And he just got married too.
Well, yeah, him being a faggot kind of like throws a wrench into a lot of this, but yeah.
Yeah, and so and yep, the same thing. Royal's right with Keke Palmer. We actually talked about this. Remember when Keke Palmer and her
Oh,
team was having problems, and she was on stage, kind of like giving him a little booty dance. That's what I'm
what a
talking
piece of
about.
shit Usher is. I don't care if he is gay. Like that second
No,
time.
he literally he just married a woman, but he
Yeah,
literally just got married.
That's called a beard,
He's,
Megan. How naive you are.
but yeah. Well,
she's just a cover up.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Usher's gay. If he is, that's crazy. I don't think he's gay though. I just think that he's a ladies' man. But the problem is that, and also too for the woman is disrespectful to her husband. If she allows another man to grope on her, knowing that she has a husband, that's straight up disrespectful. Now, if they're into like the whole swinging thing, that's one thing. It's still weird. But even still, it's like everybody's all degenerate. And if the fact that if I was Swiss Beats, I would be like, yo, first of all, I would be upset with Usher for groping on my woman, but I also be upset with my woman for even allowing that to happen.
Oh yeah, that's divorce instantly right there. You do that in front of the whole world in the Super Bowl. But I could also sell you. This isn't the place, but I could sell you on the fact that Usher is a booty boy and Puff Daddy broke him in to bring him into the game. Puff Daddy like admits it accidentally on camera with Usher at one point and Kevin Hart. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I remember that. I've seen that clip.
He talks
Yeah,
about waking up and fighting over the cornflakes, and then Kevin's like, "What the fuck did Puff just say?" And Puff
yeah,
goes like choke him out because he's all drunk. He doesn't realize he's on camera, and then he like
I know.
comes to, but Usher just looks super embarrassed when Puff's trying to talk his way out of it.
I know. I've seen the videos too. It's super awkward. So with that being said, would you guys be down to spend the rest of the show watching and kind of commentating on Weber podcast? They got Andrew Wilson on there.
I certainly am. Megan, what do you think? In chat, what do you guys want to do? You in?
To do what? Like react?
You're in. You're in.
Yeah, we're gonna react to whatever podcast with Andrew Wilson on there. They're deep into the conversations now, but usually it goes on for hours. So we'll watch and kind of just give our commentary on it and see where they're at right now with the conversations. The
One
title
more thing, Puffy was Usher's legal guardian when he was a child, when he was like 14, 15 years old.
I think so. Yeah.
Facts.
So Brian actually gave me the idea, not personally, but I saw his headline and he gave me the idea of the whole women with $50,000 and men should make that much.
So you think we're currently still fighting for that, correct?
In the U.S.
Hold on,
or in the world?
Change the quality of this.
Well, I don't know about the current state of equality between.
Okay, so we're gonna pull this up. We're gonna react to
between men and women.
So, folks, this is like the biggest podcast, independent podcast in the red pill quote, like dating manosphere, if you will, for lack of a better.
In, a developing country with a more patriarchal society like Egypt.
They're a panel of women usually.
When I moved here, obviously women have way more rights here.
Sure.
Look at that one in the pink. She's a whole lot of woman.
But so do men, right?
The girl wearing the blue, is that the one from the video earlier?
Men have more rights here than they do in Egypt.
Wearing the same exact top.
And there's our guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change the quality so we can watch it better.
And Andrew Wilson's our guy. He's the guest. He's a regular return guest. Right there in the plaid, the flannel.
I think a lot of people just don't have a lot of rights in general over there.
Rights don't exist?
It's not that they don't exist. Like it's not
Where do they
North
exist?
Korea. It's
Do rights exist?
Walking them into the news.
In Egypt?
No, do they just exist at all?
Yeah.
Where?
What do you mean?
Can you point to one?
Well, like in Saudi Arabia, women recently in the recent years, they just got the right to vote.
So they got a right. So it didn't exist before they got it?
Yeah, they didn't have the right to vote.
Right,
before.
so it didn't exist. So rights don't exist. They're just things that are given to people, right? They're entitlements absent duty. They don't actually exist.
Well, it's like men had the right, so it existed.
He's talking about right.
Didn't have the right. There was no right.
This is checkmate.
No right. There's no such thing as a right. It's completely made up social construction. It's arbitrary. It's completely meaningless.
So like in the first 10 amendments, when they talk about your rights, like right to bear arms, your right to a speedy trial. Like,
do you have a right to bear arms?
As an American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you bear a nuke?
No.
No, you can't. I thought you had a right to bear arms.
Well, it like to an extent, like there's still governing laws, especially within.
I
each
thought it was a
state,
right.
too. I mean, well, that's for you to
Good
talk
point, though.
to the.
So it's not a right? It's something besides a right.
A conditional right.
Conditional right?
Ah!
Does that mean we can put more conditions on the right until it doesn't even become the right?
I guess if you want to.
But then there's no rights. It's just all made up. It's just made up nonsense. There's no
Well, I
rights.
mean, yeah,
Good point,
it is
though.
made
If
up
you can't, if you
because
can't carry a
Conditional
nuke,
That's
right
right. It's
means
all
it's
made
not
up.
a right.
Wanted to come
I
in?
was just going to say at the time that right was written down in the Constitution, there was not nukes. So
Oh, awesome. Yeah, there's just massive warships that could cannonade an entire coastal city and
Good
blow it
word.
to fucking smithereens.
Cannonade. I like that.
But you can't own one of those either.
Actually, I probably could if I had the money. I could probably buy like a ship with cannons on it. Do you want to become a pirate with me, Andrew? Sorry. Derailing. Sorry.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, you have the right to bear arms. It doesn't mean you can just mass
You're
murder.
you're a little too far
What
from
is-
the mic.
What does the right to bear arms have to do with mass murdering?
Well, you just brought up an example of mass murder with the giant warship.
No, that wasn't an example of that. It was to express to you that even if the technology did not at the time exist for whatever these limitations you're putting on modern guns, it's totally irrelevant because there was technology which was still highly powerful, which could take.
All right, I'm going to pause this so we can commentary. So we're going to be kind of delayed on the live. What do you guys think about that, Megan? What do you think about the right to bear arms, or the fact that rights are made up? From Andrew's worldview, he says that rights are made up. What do you think about that?
If it's something that can be taken away from you, is it even a right in the first place?
Well, yeah. So that's his whole point, because rights can be taken away. Men gave rights,
Like-
men can take away rights.
Like having kids, for example, if you do something like as a parent, you have your kids taken away from you from CPS, it proves being a parent was never a right.
Well, hence his argument that unless there are men there willing to fight to uphold your rights, it's not really a stable, consistent right.
Because you're talking
Therefore,
about
there are
Saudi
no rights.
Arabia. I'm not sure about like the voting laws in Saudi Arabia, but I know in Saudi Arabia, like women weren't allowed to have driver's licenses. They weren't allowed to hold
Based.
jobs and stuff. They weren't allowed to, divorce even. Only men were allowed to initiate divorce.
Based. Where's that at?
Saudi Arabia.
Coming here.
Yeah, but they operate, every country operates differently, and they have their own beliefs too. Middle East.
Yeah, they're based in like the Muslim religion, not Christianity. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but the
they're
point is that
operating,
there's
they're
men
operating
fighting
under a
for-
false ideology.
Women
Well-
only have the rights that men are willing to fight and uphold for them.
yeah,
They're
and
based,
also,
that whole country is based on a false ideology. If it's not
well,
Christian.
also too, but even in Christianity, God commands women should be silent.
That's not what he means. Well, in the church, not.
Right, but that's still, but if that's the
I know
case.
you
but-
like that verse though.
I
No,
love
but-
that verse.
But what I'm saying is that even still, it's like, yes, Proverbs 31 says women should, teach other women to be mothers and things like that. But yet, the fact that you guys still be silent, that's a commandment from God. So
That's in the churches.
But I know, but the point I'm making is that people point to Saudi Arabia and say, "Oh, they did this to women," but Christianity also has guidelines for women too. But women seem to never follow it because you got women pastors.
And God says,
Yeah, I don't agree with.
shut your mouth.
I don't agree with women pastors though. But I think in Saudi Arabia they should take it a step further.
See, Megan, you're so close. You're like halfway to being.
Hold your horses. No, in Saudi Arabia they do take it a step further. It's sort of like laws sort of catering.
What do you guys think about this? Women should be able to divorce to beaten up. Well, I've always said that women.
That falls under a guy not being a Christian, because I think Julius can agree. Like, you can't claim to be a Christian, but then like actively, like physically, like beat up somebody.
Well, yeah. So this is what I was going to say was that biblically, you're able to divorce if it's on the grounds of infidelity. But I also add in physicality, because I think we can all agree that physical abuse is not good. So if there is physical abuse for both either male or female, there should be grounds to divorce or infidelity.
There's two grounds for divorce. One of them being like sexual immorality, and then the other one being like if the spouse is not a believer.
Yeah, infidelity. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like infidelity. If you're cheating with somebody else, then yeah, that should be grounds for divorce.
And then if your spouse is not a believer.
Um, it doesn't say that in the Bible about the believer thing. I just know that it says that
Like
it's
if your spouse is not a believer, you're no longer bound to them and stuff. Like go and be free.
sure, but that doesn't mean that the woman can't change. If she doesn't believe, the man can always lead her to believe. But and again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just know that for sure it does mention infidelity, again, sexual immorality, but also to physical abuse.
He allows it under the grounds of like also not being a believer, because if you have kids and then you have like that spiritual warfare, like how are you going to raise your kids and stuff? Like you want your kids to be raised in a Christian household.
Sure. But I'm saying, but if the man is a believer, he can always lead the woman to believe. Do you disagree with that?
It's possible, but what if, after all this time, like, and they have kids and she doesn't?
Wait, what?
Like she doesn't, like after all this time, like after she has kids, with him, and like he's a believer, but she's not. But after all this time, like she's still not a believer, and they have kids, and they get into like spiritual warfare and affects like how they raise their children.
Well, then he picked the wrong woman. Then.
Then she's going to repeal the 19th, and every right needs to go.
I feel like some men just hate, like actually like hate women.
Actually, well, hold on. This is actually good, and I'm glad Nick brought this up. So, Megan, what right do you want to vote for?
What do you mean?
Because you seem to oppose with repeal the 19th, so you want to vote as a woman. But I'm asking you, what right are you looking to vote for? When you vote, what's a right that you're looking to keep when you go and vote?
I don't really know. When I vote, I just vote for a candidate that I think is better suited to, serve, to like lead the country.
Right, but what does that candidate look like?
Somebody who's pro-life, somebody who won't discriminate against, teachers teaching, about God in the school systems, somebody who believes in lowering taxes, religious freedom, but we all know it's more so, in favor of Christianity, because it's kind of hard to be a Christian when a Democrat's in office.
See, this is where I disagree with you. I don't want a candidate who's pro-life. I want a candidate who's an abolitionist. I want a candidate to get rid of all taxes, so there's no taxes, not low taxes. Taxation is theft. So I don't want a candidate.
I agree with you.
Taxes. I want a candidate who's going to get rid of taxes. We don't got to pay taxes.
I agree with you for sure. They're actually voting in the state of Florida right now, and about like having whether or not abortion is going to be on the ballot. It's in the Supreme Court right now, which I'm praying it does not get passed, because if it doesn't get passed, then the new abortion laws in Florida will go into effect, which is almost near a heartbeat bill. But I want it like completely outlawed, and I will vote for whichever candidate will make that possible.
Megan's pretty much an abolitionist too, from what I gather.
Well, I was gonna say, would you change?
I feel like there's never gonna be like the ideal candidate who has who checks off all your boxes. It almost stems down to picking the lesser of two evils.
I'm not doing that. Honestly, I'm not voting for anybody this election.
Sometimes I vote for people not because I fully support them, but because I know what the alternative is.
Yeah, but I'm not voting for Trump at all. I'm going to vote locally if there's great candidates. If there's not, I'm just not going to vote at all. And honestly, I'm okay with not voting. I'm actually okay with it.
I'm going back to my hometown to go vote for the primaries and stuff, because I'm very lucky to live in a very conservative town in Ocala, and our mayor's actually about to retire, so I'm trying to see who the new right-leaning candidate's going to be. I'm pretty skeptical about it, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm very blessed to live in a very conservative area where, my mom, she's a public school teacher, and she does talk about God with her students, and two parents who, their kids are one of my mom's students, we have invited them to church, and they've actually given their lives to God just because they've had that interaction. Because I feel like you shouldn't, not be allowed to talk about God in the school system. You're not teaching that in your curriculum. You're just sharing a part of your life in the hopes that, maybe one of her students can come to know God and learn about God. Because not everyone's born into a Christian household. Not everyone has that blessing.
Yeah. So to bring it back, we're gonna react more to the video, but to bring it back, do you think that we have rights?
I feel more like we have privileges, because if everyone had rights, there would be no need for jails, because if it's something that can be taken away just simply because of, you know, how do I say this? Like a wrongful action. You know, if being free was a right, there'd be no need for jails.
I think you're right on the money with the privileges thing, by the way.
It's more of like there's no such thing as like rights, but rather like privileges and, you know, opportunities and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I have not committed a crime, so therefore, you know, I have the privilege of, you know, being free because I haven't done anything to sort of have those, you know, revoked.
Right, but if at any time they wanted to, they could revoke them and throw your ass in jail, and you'd have no rights anymore. I hear what you're
If I
saying.
committed a crime.
So they're more like
So
privileges.
it's like everyone has rules to follow, basically.
Yeah. Real quick too, before I go back to the video, I don't know how true this is, but I saw this being reported. It's not too far from what Trump was saying in this town hall, but supposedly it was reported that Trump was saying that he was okay with a 16-week abortion ban.
I saw that.
And I don't know how, and if that's true, I don't know how anybody who's either pro-life can agree with that. But somebody commented and was like, "I'm okay with first trimester." I'm like, "You're still killing the baby even in the first trimester."
What's that mean? 16-week abortion ban.
So
16 weeks is like like anywhere within like the first trimester.
yeah, he
You're
basically
allowed to do
saying,
it?
yeah, he basically saying that the first trimester is okay to abort a baby, but anything after that is
And I completely
16
disagree.
weeks.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that. But at the same time, I also know the alternative is a man who would allow a state to have it up until the moment of birth.
Yeah, but the problem is though is that Trump is willing to sacrifice babies for the vote. That's why I will not vote for him. If that's true, and it's not too far off, Trump said in his town hall that he's pro-life, but with exceptions. In the case of rape and incest, yes, I said the words.
Again, it's always down to picking a lesser of two evils because the other
So
person.
you want to sacrifice babies for a vote?
Well, that's an interesting question because he's sacrificing babies to get the vote, meaning he'll get into office and ultimately save more babies than if Biden were to get in there, would be his argument.
I don't think he would, because if that's the case, Trump would have did that when he was in office the first time. He didn't. He was pro-life, but he really didn't do anything for. He didn't.
I don't think a
abolish
president has
abortion.
like that kind of like supreme power because if you saw like, you know, Roe v. Wade was overturned under the Biden administration, but it was not the works of Biden whatsoever. It was the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it was the people that Trump picked.
So I feel like Trump is just saying like his personal opinion, knowing he can't really do much on the matter if he didn't really play a role, you know, in making that official decision aside from appointing right-wing
But this is why
Supreme Court
Republicans have.
justices.
Yeah, but this is why Republicans got to take the House. If they took the House and they had the Senate, and he can talk to these people and try to drum up something where they can.
Yeah, we have the House right now. We just don't have the Senate.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's a narrow
right
margin,
now,
but we just narrowly have the House.
Yeah, and right now no one's doing anything. So these Republicans of today are like liberals of yesterday.
Republicans need some balls.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. But anyways, yeah, let's go back to the
I'm a woman and my balls are bigger than half the quote unquote men in office right now.
Ew.
My balls are bigger than yours.
Okay, so let's listen more into the rights argument, and we'll go from there.
Then, at the time, right then.
So arms includes, what does that include exactly?
That's a good question. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Right? Just like freedom of speech, does that only include printing press because that's what they had at the time?
Mm-hmm.
It's my question. So we're talking about rights. I don't think there are rights. I think that they're fucking made up. I've never had anybody demonstrate to me that there's an actual right to do shit. What is a right?
Well, by your logic, as just saying like, oh, rights don't exist because it's things people made up, and you can almost say it's like a social construct. You say that about literally anything in the entire world. Like,
no, you can't.
Well, yeah, because the government was technically made up by people.
Yeah,
the people made up everything, like even the written language, the alphabet.
But democracy is a social construction. Communism is a social construction. These are all governmental bodies.
Everything.
But material things do exist. This microphone exists. You could maybe say calling it a microphone is a social construction, but it does exist. This is material and exists.
Oh, yeah.
Rights are not material. Rights do not exist absent the mind. They're just things that exist inside the mind, right? So that's why when people are always like, "My right to do," but you don't have a fucking right to do shit. It's just made up nonsense. Ultimately,
I mean, it's made up by your government.
What's made up by your government?
Your rights.
So then your government can make up that you have no rights?
And also,
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, then there's no
Good
rights.
point.
You just have something which is an entitlement that they're calling a right, right? So they say you can do this until we say you can't do this. So what makes it a right? Doesn't that seem like it's just a privilege? You're just being allowed to do something?
I think you're getting into semantics. I'm not quite
Semantics are
sure
super
what you mean by
important
rights.
for concepts. And so yeah, it is semantics. Semantics are important to concepts. So
They're
if you
just
have a
running circles with
concept
words. We can
of
just
right, I want to know what a right is, and I want to know why you think people have them.
What's up, Megan? Let me pause real quick. What were you saying?
I feel like at this point they're just running circles with words that we already know the conclusion.
Well, I feel bad for these women, but what he's doing is he's basically disarming any argument that they have about inherent rights, because he's saying there are no such thing as rights. Where do you found your rights? Where do you pull their inherent
I feel like I can
rights?
end
Pull
this
this from?
argument
What protects them? What upholds these rights? Are you always going to have them no matter what, even if the government turns on you, who you're expecting to protect you and provide for the rights right now? I mean, what are rights?
A right or an entitlement is something that no matter what you do, no matter what action you no matter what actions you perform.
Yeah, nothing or no one's going to take it away from you. So what is a right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
name one thing that exists like that.
You can't even say that about having vision is considered.
You can't say it about anything. Megan, that's his point. There are no rights inherent.
Like that was what I was saying. Like people could say, well, having vision is a right. Well, some people are blind or they go blind later in life.
No, there are no rights. Yeah, it's nature. You have no right to anything in nature is his point.
Yeah. Because Ruel was saying we got God-given rights. I understand that. But if you look at the way that our government is structured, our rights can be taken away. So do we really have rights? Like, do we really have rights? Because they can be taken away. Like, again, the right to bear arms was a great example. And I'm not just trying to be biased towards Andrew. I'm just listening to his worldview and his logic that if we had the right to bear arms, why can't we own nukes?
Well, look, we have the God-given right to life, but that doesn't stop millions of babies being aborted every year. Where's their right to life? No one's upholding it. No one's fighting to protect them enough.
The only right people have is the choice to choose whether or not they're going to give their lives to God. And even then, it's like if you choose to take that right from somebody else, I mean, there's consequences for that. Because you were just mentioning the unborn babies.
Somebody said we couldn't breathe freely. I mean, if you think about it, they're putting chemicals in the air.
They're turning into the Lorax.
So yeah, exactly. Megan gets it. I saw that movie too. Yeah, I mean they're putting stuff in the air. It's like they're putting stuff in the air to where we can't even breathe freely. Like think about that. You know what I mean? It's just pretty crazy when you think about. Again, I'm not saying I'm 100% on board, but I'm just saying that as far as Andrew's worldview. But I don't understand it fully myself, but I can understand where he's coming from as far as rights not being rights, because they can be taken away at any point in time. Again, we talk about the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Meanwhile, babies are getting murdered daily. They don't even have rights in the womb. And then you got women saying that it's my body, my choice, but it's not their right. You ever notice that? My body, my choice, but it's not your right to kill.
Like if it's your body, your choice, and the baby is a part of you, then why is it considered a double homicide if a pregnant woman gets unalived?
Well, I tell you what, I'm actually pro-choice. I believe in a woman's right to choose, and it begins and ends with her spreading her legs to a man.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I was about to say, you lost me there for a second. I was like,
yeah, if you didn't interrupt, it would have landed much heavier. But yeah, so when she spreads her legs,
not a good way to start your argument.
Hold on. Let Nick finish.
Her choice begins and ends with spreading her legs to a man. That is a very likely consequence that's inherent in the act of sex. That's why we have sex in nature, to procreate. So if and when you get pregnant, you don't have the right to destroy, to obliterate that new life system that you created just because you wanted to have careless, consequence-free sex. Sorry.
And then women say things like "my body, my choice." Well, then why make the choice to even spread your legs? Like Nick is saying, why make that choice?
That's the choice. That's where it begins and ends, bro.
And even if you're of the short percentage of people who who didn't really have the option of choosing consent, why are you going to choose to punish the innocent party instead of the guilty party?
Let me ask you this then, Megan.
Like, why is your solution to unalive the baby and stuff instead of, because I mean, first of all, you're killing evidence, especially if you're a minor too. Like, all you need is to prove that baby's his, and that's jail time. Actually, in the state of Florida, that person is eligible for death row.
So let me ask you this: so are you okay with criminalizing abortion to where if a woman decides to abort the baby, should she go to jail?
What do you mean? Or like,
Should she be tried for murder? Let's say abortion is abolished, but women still have abortions anyways. Should she be tried for murder?
If she gets an abortion, and also the quote unquote doctors who perform.
Hold on. We'll get there. Just follow me on this first before you go on a whole different path. Just stay with me on this one first. If abortion was abolished and a woman said, "I'm gonna kill this baby," like she's so confident she's gonna kill this baby, and she's going down to Planned Parenthood to go kill her baby, should she go to jail?
Yes.
Should she be tried for? Okay, base.
But we're gonna say that if the doctor's tried, so am I interpreting this correctly? That if the doctor's not tried, you wouldn't want the mom tried?
So
what do you mean, the doctor? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure like the doctor tried just for even,
Let's say the doctor had a good lawyer or something, and he was able to get off the charges. Do you think that there should still be charges brought against the mother?
Well, if the law is, in place, that person wouldn't be able to get out of it.
But let's say he did somehow. The mother should still be charged, or is she out too?
I mean, attempted murder. That's a charge.
Are you saying like first degree or something like that?
I mean, when you talk about
baby slaughter.
Yeah,
manslaughter, well, that would fall under attempted murder. Like you're attempting to, get rid of this life.
Well, I agree with you that, and this is why I was saying we got to move towards to is that it should.
And the doctor would almost act as an accomplice too.
Yeah,
no, he's a murderer, and you're definitely hiring a murderer. You're hiring an assassin basically to kill your unborn child.
Hitman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like people say with like abortion laws, because like we'll make it very clear, like miscarriage is not an abortion unless you actively.
Oh, we all know
actively,
that.
Like,
that's just the nuance that they've muddied the waters with.
Yeah, the only time, like, because there was a woman who got arrested for quote unquote having a miscarriage, but what they didn't tell you, and like, did they leave out the part that it was because she drank a lot of alcohol to purposely miscarry? Like, she did those things like she intentionally, purposely tried to miscarry instead. If it was like a woman, they found no drugs or alcohol in her system, and it was just a simple like, there's nothing really anybody could have done, and they tried to get medical attention. They tried to save the baby's life.
She should be charged with the same charges that a woman's charged with when they bust her trying to hire a hitman to kill her husband.
Yeah, because here in California, they were actually trying to do away with that. It was a bill called AB 2223, and they were trying to allow women to have an abortion up until marriage, and they was trying to I'm sorry, marriage up until birth. Up until birth. Sorry, I thought about something else. Up until birth. Excuse me. Yeah, so they were trying to have babies aborted up until birth, and they were trying to decriminalize miscarriages by trying to make a story that if a woman takes pills or something like that and she has a miscarriage, they would decriminalize that, and that's a slippery slope because what happens is that women can say, "Oh, I took some pills and didn't know it was going to kill my baby," when in reality they could be taking pills to kill their baby, like abortion pills, for example. Which is why I said
argument, because it's like, how do you know what pills like isn't going to kill your baby? Like, I know what pills
Plan B
supplements do.
Plan B.
Yeah,
but
like I only take two types of supplements, and they're both like iron-based ones because I do struggle with like anemia, basically low blood count. So I get that iron boost. Like I basically have to do more than the average person to.
Well, look, if you got pregnant, you're supposed to talk to your doctor or your primary care physician about this. Your whatever the woman's thing is. They're going to advise you on things you can and can't take. So if there's even a potential risk that you might be pregnant, you're going to go talk to your gynecologist or whoever, and they're going to tell you that iron's safe or it's not. But a responsible woman would be informed by their gynecologist, their pediatrician, whatever, like right away.
Yeah, they'll tell you like what you can and cannot like take and stuff. I mean, I'm not like relying on them. It's just I think
they give you some good, basic guidance.
When I'm not going to get into detail, but basically, like for me, when it's that time, I suffer a lot. And because of that, I have to take iron supplements to keep my blood count high, to keep it at like a normal level. Which is
you suffer a lot. What'd you say?
I was trying not to say against like, I don't know, like I'm trying to say like whenever, like the reason I take the supplements and why I have like a low blood count most of the time is because when it's, that time for me, if you catch my flow, quite literally.
Yeah, inflow. Gotcha. We're picking up.
Basically, that's the cause of me having a low blood count despite eating healthy and all that
Oh,
stuff.
so you suffer. Got you. That makes more sense now. Thanks for the
Well, I mean,
context.
in a way, yeah, because when I don't take that and I have a low blood count, I feel very fatigued. My muscles feel sore all of the time because they don't have,
Yeah, inflow comes to town wreaking some havoc.
Rick, we had a comment on Instagram by Katie5. What's up, Katie5? She said they don't have the right to care when abortion fails either. This comes back to the classroom as it's usually first exposure. Yeah, she said they don't have a right to care when an abortion fails either. What do you mean they don't have a right to care when abortion fails either? What does that
like,
mean?
I think, okay, this might be a stretch, but I think she means like if you have or like try to seek an abortion, you should forfeit any rights of, trying to become a parent in the future.
Did you just possibly misgender Katie by assuming that she's a she?
Too bad.
Nah, Katie's our girl. It's cool to see her out there.
Yeah, I mean, so if she's saying that they don't have a right to care when abortion failed either, is she saying that they shouldn't be mothers if they have an abortion?
Or if they seek an abortion based.
Right. So I mean, 'cause I wonder if she's saying that if they have an abortion, then they shouldn't have the right to be mothers after that because they already killed one baby. And
They
they have
shouldn't be
another
allowed to
one.
get pregnant in the future.
That would be interesting. That will be interesting. I wonder if that goes up. Oh, I gotta. So Suni had this idea last night, and I want to ask her this one, but I'll ask her off the stream. It was about sterilization when it comes to mental illness, and I want to ask her: do you think that women should be sterilized if they have an abortion, and then because they couldn't do it at the time, but then they have a child later on, should they be sterilized? Because
I would love to hear our answer to that, but we're gonna have to cut the rumble if we talk any bit more on this.
I know. All right, so we'll do like the last bit of this stream, and then we'll end it from there. So first of all, I just want to say thank you all for watching. I do appreciate you guys. We're gonna react to this one last, I guess you could say, clip or whatever of the stream.
Finale.
And then we'll wrap it up from there. Appreciate you guys for watching. We really do appreciate you guys. Do hit that like button. If you're watching on Instagram, share this out if you can. It very much does help out. Engage, comment what you guys think. All you guys watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. It definitely does help the algorithm. Comment below what you guys think about what we've been talking about, and share this out too. If you guys like a certain clip it, put it out there. Just make sure you tag us, C3 Nick at Today with Julius, and we'll share it on our stories. And we appreciate you guys for doing that. So let's react to the rights argument, and then we'll wrap it up.
What is one?
What is a woman?
I think what
The right to education.
The right to education.
Let me maneuver here a little bit. So the question though for Isabella, what is one right that a man has in the United States that a woman does not?
Checkmate.
Because there's feminists, there's massive women's organizations, feminist organizations in the United States. Feminism has major systemic and what are the two buzzwords people use? Systemic and institutional power in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And if feminism is about, equalizing the supposed rights between men and women, what are the rights that feminism is fighting for women to have equalized between themselves between men and women?
Well, when I said that I believe in equal rights, I wasn't only talking about the United States.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the United States. So are there currently in the United States any rights that are afforded to men that women do not have?
I'd have to look into it more.
So you're purporting to fight for something, but you're not even sure what
around
specific.
the world because I haven't lived in the U.S. for very long, so
Okay.
I wouldn't.
I
Like,
can
even though
tell.
I'm technically American, I wouldn't claim this as like my.
Listen to her
country.
voice.
So you're currently doing advocacy for Egypt.
There's
I'm
no
just-
accent.
Advocacy specifically, I'm not going out to protest like all the time and
Mhm.
like donating to things. But of course, like, I'm not gonna say I don't think
I feel like she
that
might be
they should
Polynesian
be equal
or
there,
Indonesian.
because
We're
I've
feeling
seen
19th, bro.
like what she said. She's seen people, like women, have all their rights taken away in whatever countries. Like similar things happen in Egypt where they're not treated very well, and that's okay over
Right, but
there.
I don't know.
500 years ago?
I'm not really
Unaliving
interested
an
in
unborn
speaking
baby is
about
not a right.
Egypt.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Not
I mean,
okay.
you didn't clarify
unalive a
if I
baby.
just meant about the
Were
US.
you treated badly in Egypt?
Worse than I was treated here.
Yeah, what does that mean though?
Look,
You know, I
Andrew's
was
taken down.
harassed, oh, sorry. my bad.
Well, no.
He's
but
full of
like,
shit. You can smell it.
I've heard some not very positive
see.
things about Egypt.
Yeah.
No offense, since you lived there for a long period of time, especially Cairo. I've heard
Egypt.
it's not great.
It's
There,
hard,
man.
yeah, it's
That's
hard
why
work,
I'm
man.
They're both
It's
sussing her
very-
out.
It's a difficult country to live, especially when you
Listen to your
come
voice.
from
It's American.
like a Western country and then you move there afterwards. Of course, I will acknowledge that I did have it better than the average citizen or person living
How
in
come?
Egypt, because I was an expat.
Okay.
So, you know, expats, of course, they're going to have it better than the average Egyptian living in Egypt for the most part.
All right. Well, moving on with my notes here, we were talking. Oh, your blind date, Lizzie. Tell us about your blind date.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, it
We'll
was
we'll pause it
only
there.
because I pretty much get along with
All right,
pretty much
we'll
most people.
we'll
But
pause it
Her
there.
name's Lizzo, right? He said Lizzie. I think he misspoke.
It's a list, yeah. We'll cut it there now to go on to a whole new topic. But what I find very interesting to me is that you hear women talk about this, about women's rights and things like that, and it just makes you wonder, what rights do women not have in the USA today? When women say I want equal rights, what rights are they talking about? Because it sounds like to me, it almost always leads to abortion, the quote unquote right to abort, and there
Men
is
can't
no
have abortions.
right. Yeah, no, we get that. I'm saying I totally get what you're saying, Megan. The ha ha he laugh track. I totally get that. I'm just saying when we talk about equal rights, right, Megan? Do you believe that women should have equal rights?
What rights do we not have?
Good
So you
question.
also agree that you guys should get equal lefts?
I mean, how about nobody gets physical at all? I mean, I don't get into
It's
physical.
like the third time I brought up abuse on the show.
I don't get physical.
I know. Nick's gonna make all
Like,
men
it's getting
look
scared
bad.
now.
No, it's like everyone keeps bringing up like equal rights, equal fights. I'm like, if you're into equal fights, you're just pro domestic violence.
But
Like, and domestic violence now.
so you agree that women have the same rights as men, as far as constitutional rights? I mean, I know Andrew
no
said what
rules.
is the right, but
I feel like
technically
I feel like what they might be referring to is more of like the social, like norms and stuff, and like traditional rules. But we don't live in those times anymore. We don't live in times anymore where women, you know, by law, were not allowed to hold jobs or have their own bank accounts, and they weren't allowed to vote. But like now we are allowed to do those things. So what rights do we have in 2024 aside from abortion? Because you know,
what's funny about
no,
not the whole
unaliving an unborn child is not a right. I'm sorry to say that, but like, but outside of that, like, what rights do women have or women not have that only men do?
But what's funny about even the whole bank account thing is that even back in the day, when women were able to, from what I understand, women were able to still obtain a man's money and spend it however way she wanted to.
And they were not liable for any of the debt that may have came from it.
Yep.
It was when I was looking into that, apparently like women having like their own bank accounts was actually more so like created for women who were in like physically abusive relationships or in marriages where, because she wasn't allowed to hold a job, she couldn't leave.
But physical,
like,
but see that's the thing. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but the physical abuse is not as prominent as women make it out to be. They act
but
like
basically that was like the reason why we were allowed to like have that in the first place, where we were in like actual harmful situations. We did have the means.
that's not all the way true. That's what I'm saying. That's not all the way true. From what I understand, women have this idea that if a man was, if a man had authority, it's because he was abusing her, and women make that up all the time. They say, "Oh, he has
I guess
authority."
from like a woman's perspective, it's like if you weren't, an abuser or like a controller, why do you need to have 100% power? I guess.
If you weren't planning on leaving us eventually, why do you need to have your own account?
Yeah, and that,
More.
yeah.
I mean, my parents, they both have like their own like side separate accounts, and then they have like a conjoined account that goes towards like paying for everything. But it's nothing about like my parents, like they're pretty religious and stuff, but it's more of like they paid for like what they need to like pay as far as like everything for the house, everything for like utilities, everything for my sister and I, so like all that stuff. But then afterwards it's like their own like side money, so like my dad can't tell my mom like how to like spend whatever she earned a certain way. My mom can't tell my dad like how he should spend his money a certain way if like they both did their like once they've both done their part of paying like the bills that need to be paid.
Well, I think
that way my dad said because of that, like any gift that my mom gives to him, he knows is completely from her, like with her own money, like she worked to get him, like my dad, the gift that he wanted, instead of like having it be like she lives off of my dad, and it's like whatever gift my mom were to hypothetically give him, it would be out of like his income. Like he would feel more of like, yeah, it's truly coming from her.
Yeah, but I think that men should have authority to say what goes on in the household, because if the woman decides to use the money that's not for the family and she just buys up whatever,
well, they're not they're not crazy spenders. I feel like just because like they have their own big accounts, like they were never like crazy spenders, and that I don't know, I guess for like some guys, but for my dad, like it wasn't really a big deal once everything was already paid for, bills taken care of, everything like our kids' needs taken care of and stuff. It's like once all that's done, and then same thing. It was never.
If you don't mind me asking, is it 50-50 in your household?
I feel like it's like half traditional, half not.
Are they partners?
What do you mean partner? Define partners. I thought you hated the word partners. I thought you hated the word partner.
Right, but I mean, but that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Like, is it 50-50? Because I don't believe it's 50-50. If both are going 50, how are you giving 100%?
50-50 just means they both do their part. I mean,
half of the work.
To become one flesh.
Yeah, but 50-50 inquires that individually they're given half, like of themselves. So they're not 100. They're both not 100%.
They're both giving 100%, but it's not like. Well, I mean, technically,
how are they giving 100% if both of them are 50?
50 plus 50 is 100. When two people get married, they become one flesh.
Yeah, but separately, if they're both giving, let's think about this logic. If they're both giving 50, they're both giving 50%. How is it 100%?
Well, they're not giving 50. Well, they're not giving like 50. They're both like in their own like individual way giving 100% of themselves, like to each other and to the family that they've created. You're giving me that straight face.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, let's think about it for next week's show. Let me think about the topic, title.
Like both my parents were. It's just like their dynamic. Like they're very religious and stuff. I feel like my dad, like he even said, like he doesn't feel the need to like control every like little thing. Like he knows like how my mom like dressed whenever like they first started dating and how she dresses now. It's like I don't know. That's just like.
Well, he knows your mom would raise hell if he ever did try.
Not really. My mom's like one of the sweetest people ever.
I'll ask this last question before we go because I don't think we really touched on this. Just real quick around the table here. Megan, does a man's income matter?
Yes and no, depending on what state you live in.
Okay, let's not do the funny game state we live in. According to you, according to that's 4 times, Nick. No, according to you, Megan, if you were to meet a man that you would like to have a family with, does his income matter to you?
Again, this is my job. This is my job. I have to be this person. Depends if he wants me to work or not. if he wants me to work, then whatever he makes doesn't matter. But if he doesn't want me to work, of course, and he wants me to be strictly a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom, then of course I'm going to be concerned with how much he makes. Because I mean, it's not, his income isn't just going to affect himself; it's going to affect, myself. And if he doesn't want me working and contributing financially to give us that extra boost of income and stuff, of course I'm going to be concerned with how much he makes, especially with.
And you're going to leave that up to him to decide whether you work or not?
I mean, like,
based, Megan.
I mean, and I will tell you, because it sort of plays into what I'm going to tell you after this important life update.
Yeah, and then real quick too.
What if a couple just works together?
Well, so
they both created their own empire.
But a couple can work together, but the problem is, biblically, the woman is supposed to be the one that's nurturing the children while the man goes out and supposed to slay the dragon. So if he's, let's say he can't take care of you, let's say he's making more than enough and he can take care of you, would you be a stay-at-home mom?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I do love cooking. I mean, that's one of my biggest hobbies. My hobbies is also like sewing and stuff.
Did she say cooking?
No,
cooking.
Cooking. It sounded like
that's it. There.
She was saying cooking. Yeah, cooking.
Thank God.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah.
No, it sounded like.
I know Julius was saying that a lot and stuff, but I'm not Julius. I'm not dirty-minded.
Say what? Say what? What do you mean?
Megan really likes cooking.
I'm not into that polygamous stuff. I'm not Mormon.
This has gotten off the rails. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, and then real quick, Nick, just your thoughts, real quick, Nick. Do you think men's income matters to women?
Yeah, typically, whether they want to admit it or not, and I'll go one step further. I think it should matter to women. I think it's important, and I think that if I was advising like somebody I cared about, like my sister or a niece or something like that, I would say, yeah, you want to find a man that can provide for you and provision for you, so that you don't have to if you don't want to when you're raising children.
Okay. I do think it matters, but also I think that women can contradict themselves. They say that they don't want a man with money, but then they don't want no bum.
So yeah, women are walking contradictions anymore, for sure.
So his
I can see where that
income,
comes. I can see where that comes in.
Hold on. Let me get my thoughts across. I'll let you guys talk. His income does matter because if you want to start a family, you need a good income to provide for your family, to roof over your head, clothes on your back, food to eat, all that kind of stuff. So his income does matter. Does he have to be a millionaire? No, but he should be able to make enough to take care of her family. And I think it all goes down to legislation. If we don't start pushing back against legislators and changing the laws, then we're always going to have this problem. If we don't start changing laws when it comes to family court, we don't change laws when it comes to the economy, it's always going to be a problem when it comes to dual income household. That was the government's plan, was to remove women to create dual income. That feedback is terrible. I don't know where it's coming from.
Taxation
But anyways,
theft either way.
yeah. So
Theft.
with that being said, this has been a great show. Great conversations, great stuff. And yes, Megan was disrespectful to the Mormon. I've seen the Mormon before, and they are nice people. They ride on boogies. I felt really weird passing by.
They
them in
marry
the
their
car.
cousins. They marry many of their cousins. They are not Christians. It's a
Don't
man-made
hate,
religion.
Megan. Stop hating.
That's all I do.
It's not becoming.
Yeah.
I believe in
Megan
the one
was
true,
better
it's
than
one
this.
true God, Jesus.
Very unbecoming of you, young lady.
Black-haired Megan's better than this. No,
Yeah,
I like
so-
Megan 2.0.
She truly has gone rogue.
You're getting the most based Megan. What are you talking about?
So with that being said, just real quick, I won't get into it. I just want to read this last bit of comments on Instagram. Katie5 says, wonder how sexual liberation is defined. Short answer, it was defined by being promiscuous. And then and then she said, yep, please be better ST money management than me, or we're in trouble. I don't know what she was trying to say. I think I get where you're going. But nonetheless, we appreciate the comments. We appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. Appreciate you watching on Instagram, which I'm so happy I know how to work this thing now. Thank God. It took two of us to figure this out. I was like, Nick, we're going to solve this. And we solved it. Because remember, I was reading a little box said go live. I was like, now I understand. So now I can go live on Instagram with Today with Julius. Today with Julius is coming on Instagram. That sounded weird, but I'll be there on Instagram. But I'll be there on Instagram. I'm repenting right now. So
And it's gonna sound even weirder, but C3 Nick too, but not with him in any weird way.
Yeah, it sounds super
I
weird.
wouldn't have known that's what you meant unless you pointed it out.
Pause.
Facts. But yeah, on that note, we appreciate you guys for watching. God bless you guys. If you guys like this video, do hit that like button and make sure you guys subscribe on Instagram. Make sure you guys share this out. Otherwise, you'll get backhanded from Nick. Oh, that thumbs up. How do you do that?
Where's mine?
I know. Where's mine at?
It's my white privilege, Julius. Don't try.
I know. White thumb for the white man.
No, it's anti-women too.
Only white men can get the thumb.
No, it's
Oh,
apparently
racist, man. This app is racist.
yeah. Apparently, it's anti-women too.
Well, you're Venezuelan or whatever you claim to be.
Cuban, Puerto Rican.
You're not white.
Think of the rivaling Hispanic nations in the.
You outed yourself as non-white.
Yeah.
So with that
just
being
for
said, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys want to support us as well, you can always donate to support this channel. It definitely does help out to give you guys better quality content. It really truly does. If you guys help us out, you'll see how we help you out. If you're watching on Instagram, you guys can also support us as well. Go into the link into our bio. It's all right there. And again, we appreciate you guys. God bless. And we will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Take care.